I got your dollar bill. Huh? What's up with that? Everybody wake up, Bonaduce screaming now.
Do you have my dollar bill?
I do have your dollar bill. I don't think there's an R in it.
No.
You got your dollar bills. I think everybody says it like a rapper except Boston, who just says it. Let's see. It's 5:45. Look at us go. I'm Danny Bonaduce. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Can I tell you something strange?
Yeah.
You're saying dollar bill, and that Boston people, that's just how they say it. According to linguist experts, people from Boston speak proper like British people used to speak, and British people are the ones who got the weird accent.
Yeah, but didn't we shoot all those guys for a reason?
And aren't whatever you're reading totally wrong? Have you seen the footage of the hurricane and the house exploding in Boston?
Yeah.
We got fire. It's part my car. No, man. Whatever you read, they're out of your. Somebody's lying to you.
They
in
said
print.
that's what people who came over from England when we
Yeah,
the
the red
Mayflower.
coats.
And then we went to Roanoke and we all ate each other to death. I read my history books.
Yeah, but they all sounded like that. Dollar bill.
Okay, they weren't dollar bills. What are you saying? Why are you crazy? It's only 5:46.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, she got a point there. Hey, so, all right, I was going to just keep this to myself. What are the rules to Blue Friday?
Well, the Patriots, the Seahawks play Monday, so typically you would wear your Seahawks gear on Monday.
There's no Blue Friday on a game with their Monday. They're all yelling at me on the news to make sure I get my Blue Friday on.
So some people wear their gear on Fridays even, and some people wear their gear every day of the week.
Every day of the week, but okay,
but
now.
the big thing is the last work day before a game.
Oh, that would be mine, because I went running around this morning to find not only something of the right color, but something with the words "C" and then Hawks on it.
You're fine, man. You got another chance.
All right, cool.
Until Monday.
Oh, no, man. No, whatever. I got more Seahawks gear than Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I have more Seahawks gear.
Well, you have your jacket, so you're
I
good
do.
to go.
No, that's my point. Do I have to wear a big thing that says Seahawks? Because I see you guys, I thought maybe forgot, but it turns out it's not Blue Friday.
No, we'll have a Blue Monday.
Man, you guys are hard to keep. I'm trying so hard.
It's me, not the Seattle
game.
Seahawks. I made it up.
It is you. It is you, rat. Although
not
you
the
do you have a
Seattle
Seahawks hat
I
on.
do, yeah.
Yeah, you do. All right. So I got your dollar bills. And I'm trying to explain this. I am at the Queen Anne Farmers Market yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And Amy and I are going to split a piece of pizza because we're high rollers.
Yeah.
We want half of a piece of pizza. But no, we're going to graze, and we're going to do half of a lot of stuff. But I'm in line. I get to the line. I kind of know these guys a little bit. I know the young lady who works there the best, and she wasn't there. So I'm standing there, and I hear this. Well, I guess I know where you work. And I figure it's directed at me, and I hear something along that line all the time. I know where you work.
Sure, yeah.
I know what you did. I know who you are. Something like that. So I don't pay too much attention to it. I guess I know where you work. And I didn't look at it. I said, like I'm about to say thanks and everything, but then somebody else says, you need an extra $1, some such thing. And I look up, and I've got a handful of singles, and I'm wearing a shirt that says, the good stuff on a T-shirt. I'm being accused of being a stripper.
Yeah.
And then before I can go, hey, then I realize, wait a minute, man, I'm 59 years old. And,
It's a compliment,
yeah, really. And then I decided, that it would be really funny to lift up my shirt a little bit like I was dancing. Turns out that's not funny at a farmer's market with all sorts of children. The rules. I wasn't really going to take my clothes off. So my lovely wife and I, her name would be Amy, we have a secret spot. It's not a secret at all. We just say that. But we go and we eat at the same exact place on a curb 50 feet away from the last seller at the market. There's a little curb and we can sit on it. So we were sitting there and we're splitting our hot dog because that's how we roll. And this lady who I'm pretty sure I've met, but I'm not sure enough to fake that we're buddies. But I am pretty sure I know her. And she starts talking about how she's also friends with Andrew Zimmern, who I've met once, but maybe I was lying to this lady. That will happen. So she starts talking about traveling sober and that I'm an inspiration. Okay, cool. Listen, yeah, it's very, very fine. And she says something to Amy, and I go to express in sober world, there's something called a normie. And all of you are normies. What that is, it's a person who could smoke pot if they felt like it and then put it down, certainly have a beer or two and then put it down. You're all normal. So you're all normies, and I'm a drunk and an addict, right? So she says something to Amy about sobriety. I said, oh, no. And I'm trying to say my wife's normal. And I go to say, my wife can smoke or drink or snort all she wants. But that's not what I say. I say, for some reason, I didn't even hear it. Amy heard it. Oh, my Amy, she smokes and drinks and snorts all she wants.
Oh,
I don't even understand it. The lady's like talking to her and stuff, and then she walks away and he goes, "Do you know what you said?" You told her. I was like, you said that I do stuff that you don't even do. And I went, "Oh, that's terrible because there's very few things that I don't even do." So we went home, and she was kind enough to forgive me and plugged in the movie Help, the Beatles movie Help.
Yeah.
Now, there's a chance in the world because I assume everybody's seen it, but you probably haven't seen it, have you?
I have not.
Yeah. You should. It's hysterical.
I've seen clips. I've seen bits and pieces.
Except that it's incredibly racist.
Oh.
Like over the top, out of control.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Racist?
It's weird when you watch stuff back and you go, "Oh, how did I not catch that before?"
Well, no, because you wouldn't catch it because it wasn't bad when they did it, or they wouldn't have done it.
Right.
It was funny when they did it. It was okay. Like there's a scene in it where there's this group of religious zealots out to kill Ringo to get the ring off his finger. Oh, this is a spoiler alert if you haven't seen a 60-year-old movie. And there's that Indian, or they keep calling it the Filthy East. Ah, you're from the Filthy East, aren't you? I knew you were just to look at you. And it's funny. And I went, oh, my God, wait, what is he saying? And they say it all. You're from the Filthy East. You're one of those Filthy East.
Yikes.
Yeah, and I'm watching. I'm going, can this transcend the funny, that this is incredibly racist and bad? And the answer is, yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, they're Beatles. You forgive them a lot. And then it was 1966 or something. And I guess it was a different time, especially in England. But I mean, I have got to close my eyes and ears to all this, what they're saying about the filthy East and your filthy religion. And they say in the cute English language, accent, which I can't do. Oh, it's a filthy language. You got to go in there, your crazy religion. Like, that's funny, but that's somebody's religion. So now I know the Beatles are all a bunch of racists.
Yeah, I recently discovered that with Looney Tunes cartoons.
Oh, totally racist.
Watching old episodes with Jellybean and going, "Oh, well, yeah, we can't watch this." And it was stuff that I probably had seen before and didn't think anything of. And now watching it again, you go, "Oh, wow."
Not only did Bugs Bunny often refer to the Japanese as Japs, because we're World War II, we were, fighting them. Shouldn't have done it. You can't do it now, that's for sure. But I think way worse than that. Do you see his Japanese face when he's saying that?
Yeah.
Crazy,
That's funny,
ridiculous teeth and glasses. Couldn't be more racist.
Right.
But that doesn't transcend it for me. Like today that's got to get off my TV. You can't do that, and you shouldn't show that. But the Beatles talk, and I don't know that the religion they were bashing officially exists.
It might have been imaginary.
It might have been a fake religion, but the statues and things were of real people. You know what I mean? Well, not real people because they had 8 arms or really good card players. But they weren't. There were statues that represented specific religions. And I thought, wow, they're making like these. But after you get around to that, it's really funny. And the Beatles, surprisingly funny guys, because by this time, they're the biggest stars in the world.
All right. They don't really have to be funny.
They don't have to do anything. And they certainly don't have to do movies, which seem to be kind of a hassle, to be honest with you. Certainly for a guy with $100 million who's going to have $1 billion. I mean, I would do them for $87.
Yeah.
But that's me, and that's how I roll. But all in all, if you want to know, if you want to see, if you dig the Beatles as much as we do in our house, and when I say we, I mean me, because nobody digs them as much as Amy because she's sick. She needs a red meat. She needs a lobotomy, a beetleotomy. That's what she needs. I'll open up her little thing, take out the beetle parts, and it'll all be my love again.
News is brought to you by Les Schwab. All eyes on Hurricane Florence this morning. The slow-moving hurricane made landfall in North Carolina, bringing strong winds, heavy rains, and the threat of record flooding. They've got evacuations underway. Most people were told to leave, but some people who were in what they thought would be safe areas had to be rescued. Hotel was one of those places. A lot of people had to be rescued after they reported huge holes in the roof, huge holes in their rooms that obviously they thought were more secure. So they're warning now of extremely heavy rainfall that will then trigger disastrous flooding, and still, keeping an eye on quite how bad this is going to be. It did ease a little, but it's not stopping the rain. So the winds eased up a bit, but that doesn't change how much rain will fall.
That is crazy when they say, you know, sustained winds of 90 miles per hour, but that's not what we're really worried about. We're really worried about the rain. It's like, holy cow, how bad is this rain?
I was worried about the wind. I watched, you know, tons of footage of this morning, and I was just waiting, flipping back and forth for people outside dressed stupidly talking about how the wind was.
Yeah.
But I see stuff flying by behind them. Like all they had, and I've heard of a guy on the news. I never saw it, so it might be, I don't know if it's not true, but I heard of a guy getting sliced through the neck with like a yield sign or something like that on the news, standing out there saying, the wind's great. And everybody went, oh, and they cut to a Dodge commercial or something.
A big announcement has emerged out of SpaceX involving what many say is a truly out-of-this-world vacation. In a tweet late yesterday, they announced a deal has been struck with a private passenger to fly around the moon in its big Falcon rocket, or BFR as they call it. They say this is an important step towards enabling access for everyday people who dream of traveling to space. Now, we don't know who that person is. We don't know how it's going to happen.
Somebody rich, right?
Well, are we charging this person? Because it's the first time. There's 50-50 that you're dead, would be my guess.
Oh, yeah.
Some are speculating it's Elon Musk.
That would I thought that. I didn't actually go as far as to speculate. I thought, I wonder if Musk's going to do it.
Yeah, that's what some on social media have been speculating, but the details are scarce. That's all they said.
If I were king of the world, I wouldn't let him go, to be honest. If he said, all right, I'm going to go, I'm going to be the first guy. Nope. Too much bad stuff happens if Elon Musk dies. That's a crazy good brain that does some really interesting stuff, and I don't need it dead on a wacky SpaceX first mission to Mars or whatever.
Some shareholders might say, well, that will solve our problem.
Because he's also kind of crazy?
Yeah. And there are a lot of people calling for him to step down from Tesla because of his erratic behavior. We don't know who it's going to be. We don't know much information. They're being very, very tight-lipped about it. They said in a second tweet, only 24 humans have been to the moon in history, and we would like to change that. So they see space travel for vacations as the next step.
Yeah, I don't know about the next, but maybe the one after that.
Yeah.
They, of course, want to eventually send people to Mars, but it would be nice if someone could figure out space travel for civilians before we send people to Mars.
Why?
Why do we need to figure out space travel for humans?
For civilians.
For civilians? Because that's who's going to eventually go to Mars. So it's not
like, don't start with Mars, start with the moon because it's a little easier. Is that what you're saying?
Start with Jersey and make sure you can land there. Let's start with Jersey, then the moon, then Mars. I just don't understand the huge rush to go to Mars, except for that other people might do it. And if other people can do it, then they can do the worst thing possible, in my imagination, is weaponize it. Weaponized space is a big drag, so if somebody's going to do it, I prefer nobody does it, but if somebody's going to do it, I think it should be us.
Yeah.
Well, the plan is to move people to Mars because our own planet will be inhabitable in the future. So we can't go to the moon because you can't colonize the moon because it doesn't have an atmosphere. So the next closest planet that we could potentially colonize would be Mars. And that's why
I don't understand what that means, to be honest with you. Why does one have an atmosphere and one not?
All the planets have different things surrounding them and different compositions.
Except the moon doesn't have one.
Doesn't have an atmosphere.
I swear to God, I did not know that.
The U.S. military said yesterday that 2 Russian nuclear-capable bombers escorted by 2 fighter jets flew near Alaska on September 11th before being intercepted by a pair of Air Force F-22 stealth fighter jets.
Neat.
The Russian formation never entered U.S. or Canadian airspace. NORAD said the Russian bombers and fighter jets were intercepted on the west mainland of Alaska and did not give a very precise location. But they said this is the second time this month that a pair of Russian bombers flew near Alaska.
Remember when they flew at the speed of sound, like 100 feet from a Navy boat, a Navy ship?
Yeah, why are they getting so close to us?
Why aren't? Because I think they're testing us. What will we do? I think we need to shoot down a Russian.
Yeah, just one, just to show them. A couple? You think a couple?
Passenger jet, whatever it takes. I wanted to wake up in the morning and go, oh, America, that's right, they're scary.
And do it over Russian airspace,
Absolutely.
too. Right? Yeah. Why let them get all the way here?
Yeah, well, no, you also want the remains to land in Russia so that Putin walks outside and goes, oh, man, that's a mess. Maybe we should stop fooling around with America.
One person has died and about a dozen others were injured in Massachusetts yesterday as a series of gas-related fires and explosions tore through several communities. An 18-year-old was killed. 12 others were injured as fires and explosions tore through the area. This poor 18-year-old was killed after one of the explosions sent a chimney crashing onto his car. This is a suspected gas line leak, and so gas that went into homes, something went terribly, terribly wrong, and that's what they believe was causing these explosions.
And the houses that blew up weren't even nearby each other.
Nope.
Like, not the same neighborhood.
Nope.
Well, they started in the same neighborhood, and then another neighborhood, and then another. And I think, according to the map I was looking at, they're 70 miles apart or something like that, these houses that are blowing up.
Yeah, they said that it just had to do with the gas lines, and not everybody has gas lines going to their homes. They said 70 different addresses were affected and 8,000 homes affected altogether.
They said, because I wouldn't be that scared. I just wouldn't think it was going to happen to me. But then they said, whatever you do, don't turn the lights on and off. What? Yeah, don't make any calls from your cell phone here. What? Don't turn on or off any electrical appliance
anything that
in
could
your
spark.
house.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that could happen. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Facebook said yesterday they'll begin to fact-check photos and videos shared to its platform. So far, most of the work done by human fact-checkers on Facebook has been geared towards articles, and now they said they're going to use a machine learning model to help identify potentially inaccurate photo and video content and then send them to human fact-checkers for review. They want to make sure that they are not using fake photos, things that have been manipulated, fabricated, or used out of context.
Yeah, I see that. I watch a show over now again called What on Earth, and mostly it's theoretically, what the hell is that happening there? Look at this new pyramid we discovered. That it's that kind of thing. But every now and again, it's like, what is that stealth bomber doing in some guy's backyard in China? And they show it, and it's a picture of that, and it's fake. It looks so real.
But is that the only kind of? Are they going to take down stuff that's sarcasm and parody? You know, just because it's inaccurate doesn't mean we should take it away.
That's what I was wondering too. Because how many times do we see memes? How many times do we see just comedy on there? And how are they going to differentiate?
And yes, it's not true, but it's intentionally not true to be funny.
Like if we put a picture of Sasquatch with Danny's face on it, is that then going to get flagged?
Exists. I got during Bigfoot.
One of those actually exists.
I got a little close to a female Bigfoot, if you know what I'm saying.
At least we'll be okay
Wait,
on
did you
that
see
one.
that crazy little tiny Bigfoot? He's about 5'1".
Right after 9/11, there was a photograph that people were circulating that showed a guy on top of the World Trade Center at the observation deck smiling with a plane behind him. And everyone's, oh my God, I can't believe they captured the final moments before the planes crashed into the World Trade Center. And finally, somebody pointed out that wouldn't exist because back then we didn't have camera phones to send those pictures virally. That would have been destroyed when the plane crashed, but everybody fell for it. So perhaps it's just trying to make sure it's not the fake stealth bombers or, you know, we can have pictures of Bigfoot.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just think it's tough for certainly tough for a computer to decide what's sarcasm and what's fake news.
Sarcasm, much like jazz, really gets its birthplace in America, which I think is odd because the first guy that went, "No, mine's bigger," or whatever it is to be sarcasm without much help, it invented there. But they give us credit for sarcasm.
Yes. Text that word right now for your chance to win, and you will have more chances throughout the day.
Terrible story in the news. A man has been arrested for pretending to have Down syndrome and hiring caregivers to bathe him and change his diapers. Police arrested this 31-year-old man. He reportedly posed as somebody named Amy and then hired a caregiver to bathe and change. Oh, sorry, a woman. He had a partner.
Who's Amy?
His partner. Then hired a caregiver to bathe and change the diapers of her. Okay, no, let me explain this better. Like, Danny, you were looking for a guitar teacher on Craigslist.
Yeah.
This man named Paul pretended to be Amy and said, I need...
Oh, Amy doesn't exist.
Right.
Put up an ad saying, come take care of my son?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. My name is Amy. I have a son with Down syndrome, and I need a caregiver. Well, she hired somebody, and then this woman comes over, helps this poor man who can't take care of himself. Turns out he just liked that. It's a fetish.
Yeah.
And
it's usually the fetish is that would result in the exact same situation is baby. Diapers, want to be fed, want to nurse. So I don't know what the Down syndrome one, if it's different, but either way, it's a fetish for sure.
Well, this woman eventually went to police, and when police arrived, that's when they discovered he didn't have any affliction whatsoever except being weird.
She went to police after she realized she never met her fake boss. Like, that would be really weird. You start a job and you've never met the person hiring you.
He listed his employment as a school crossing guard.
Yeah, I worked for CBS for years and never met Les Moonves.
But you never met your, like, immediate supervisor?
I'd like to make it clear right now. If Les asked me to bathe him, I most certainly would.
The UK's newest independent bookseller is gearing up to open his doors after winning his bookstore in a raffle. Now, the man who opened up the bookstore several years ago said it's been his dream, but he's ready to retire and wanted to give someone else the chance to realize their dream of running a bookstore. So anybody who spent $20 in the bookstore was entered into a raffle to win the bookstore. And one dude gets a phone call, and they said, you won the bookstore. All you need to do is take ownership and run it. So this dude has worked in the book industry before and said he's pretty excited. And they had a big ceremony where they played ABBA's The Winner Takes It All. And the crowd cheered, and they had a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
I don't know that I love it, to be honest with you.
No?
Well, it's cute. I saw, was it You've Got Mail? She worked in a little cute bookstore that was getting muscled out.
Right.
Well, that's a pretty factual story. I think you gave a guy a business that's bound to die.
Right. And I think you gave it away because you knew
because
that.
it's dying. It was dying while you were in charge. Exactly right. Now you give it to this guy who was, woo, I worked in the book business before. I'm so excited to have a little bookstore on the corner. And next thing you know, he's going, I got to mortgage something.
Yeah.
They said that the bookstore is profitable, but who knows how long that will last. The National Toy Hall of Fame in New York State has announced the finalists for its 2018 induction class. Would you like to know what toys are the finalists?
Yeah, I'd have guesses, except I think all the ones I'm thinking of are probably already in it.
Right.
Sometimes I wonder how there are toys still left to get put in. No, some of the finalists are the Magic 8 Ball, Masters of the Universe.
Were ya?
Yeah, Magic 8 Ball.
I was going to guess Slinky and Etch-a-Sketch, and then I realized I think I already guessed those for something.
Yeah, I think those are out for sure.
For sure.
Uno is a finalist. Really? Uno's fun.
I don't
really like that kind of game either. And it's not really a toy, right?
It's just, that's true.
It's a card game.
That's a totally different thing. Why don't you just gamble with your children?
American Girl Dolls, Chalk, Chutes and Ladders also.
Chalk as in a stick of white stuff that draws? I know that it qualifies as a toy, but you can't a lot of things without it. All right.
Better than Uno, I think.
I guess.
The vote will be taking place now through the 19th, and you can take a vote online at toyhalloffame.org.
I bet we'll do that.
Yeah, I'm on it.
In fact, we should just wrap up now so you guys can take care of that.
I mean, we might go there just to vote against Uno.
That's not a bad idea. You know what we should do to see if we should do it? Check our Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah, we should.
Give a little shake, and if it says that is certainly true, then we go do it.
Yeah. Hashtag no Uno.
Yeah, no Uno.
Somebody in the Philippines has done something absolutely amazing. An inventor has made a homemade flying car and has completed its first successful test flight after 6 years in development. He says,
do I believe it, though, Sarah? Not that it exists, but it's anything even remotely like viable transportation that it someday will improve till it's an actual flying car, or is it a lawn chair with 3 fans stuck to it pointing
That's
down?
what I'm picturing.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I have seen the video, and it looks more like a drone.
Yeah, oh no, that's what they're offering. Yeah, it's one of those.
It's like a drone. It certainly isn't a lawn chair. but it almost looks a little more helicopter-like.
It's the bubble of a helicopter. I've seen it or seen something like it. And then 4 real big fans that are going to have a whole problem once they cut about 9 people's heads off. But that's, trial and error. That's what they got. But it's interesting. How far was it able to go? Because that's been a big problem.
It reached heights of 25 feet during the test flight. That's a start.
It's a start.
Yeah.
It's also crashing right into the second floor of everything.
Yeah.
Police had to respond to a reported break-in at a Jamba Juice. 2 men were arrested, but only one of them was the perpetrator in the break-in. The other was just found to be having something he shouldn't have. So this is San Diego. Cops arrive at the scene. Somebody's breaking into Jamba Juice. They get there. They take the man into custody. Then they see a man outside of the Jamba Juice just kind of hanging around. And they said, "What's that next to you?" And he said, "That's my samurai sword."
Sure, why not?
Cop said, "Okay, you're coming with us."
You can't carry a samurai sword?
You cannot. You cannot just hang around outdoors with a samurai sword.
That's super weird. I would have bet money you could.
Because you can own one, so
Yeah.
I'm taking it home.
How do you get it from the store to the car?
Right, yeah.
Well, I wonder, say, we'll use Derek. What if we were to take Derek, put him outside with a samurai sword, and he just walks down Elliott?
Nothing would happen.
Well, in San Diego, it would.
Yeah, and San Diego it did.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, yeah, I know 100 people. I know some people with samurai swords, and I've had dozens of samurai swords and other weapons as well.
Yeah.
And it is my belief that nothing would happen. This was a fluke. You want to see something happen with a producer walking down the street? Chicago, this guy I worked with did a bit. His producer was this black guy, big dude. And he sent him to this really rich white neighborhood and told him to walk down the street with a TV and see how long it took him for the cops to get there. The answer, 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an amazing bit of business. Very funny radio.
Security cameras in China captured the moment where an exploding lighter launched a cup of noodles into the air.
What a waste.
Surveillance video is pretty funny, but it is totally a waste. This dude's not paying attention. He's sitting at the counter of a store and doesn't realize there's a lighter on the counter. He's eating his cup of noodles, puts it down on top of the lighter. The heat from the cup of noodles ignites the lighter. Pa-pow! Noodle explosion.
So sad.
So weird.
Yeah, it is
I'm
weird.
trying to do the mechanics of how that happens. Was he trying to cook the noodles with his lighter?
They had just been cooked, and he was a smoker, so he had just put the lighter down and then heats up the cup of noodles that are really hot.
Yeah, but like I said, what a waste, man. Probably the best $1.12 you're ever going to spend is on a cup of noodles.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida Story of the Day.
Yay!
Wow, we hear stories worldwide about neighbor disputes. In Florida, they take it to the next level. A man was arrested for deliberately cutting his neighbor with a chainsaw during an argument over a shrub.
All right, before I say anything else, did the guy live?
He did.
In that case, awesome. Argue with me, bitch. I'm that chainsaw guy you read about.
There's a verbal argument between the neighbors. One dude is trimming the shrub with his chainsaw.
Sounds super odd way. Well, you're the farmer, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
No. I mean, you would have like a hedge trimmer.
You wouldn't cut down a tree. You'd cut down a
Right.
tree with a chainsaw.
Yeah, exactly.
You make a topiary with something else.
Yeah, hedge trimmer.
Yeah.
Well, this is Florida, people.
Yeah, true enough.
So he's trimming the shrub with his chainsaw, gets into a verbal argument with his neighbor, and then he uses the chainsaw to kind of like joust at the guy, cuts tendons in his arm, and was taken in for aggravated battery. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say you shouldn't get into an argument with somebody who's got a chainsaw running.
No, if you believe he's going to do something with it. If Paul and I were having an argument, we're standing in this room, and Paul had a chainsaw going, I'd win. Same with Paul if he knew what to do.
It's a really tough weapon.
You give up all your weapons.
Yeah.
2 hands to hold
exactly.
it.
And it's heavy.
When you go to raise it up to swing it at me, I'm kicking you in the sack right then.
Right, yeah.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
The thoughts of kicking Paul in the sack are bringing such joy to my face.
News is brought to you by Les Schwab. Hey, I want to remind you guys, it's 7:50. If you can tell us where Sarah's Beaver's been, you can win a pair of tickets to Joan Jett and the Black Hearts and Cheap Trick.
Huge.
That's such a great show. KZOK.com or Facebook.com/Sarah's Beaver. Look at those pictures now and be ready to call at 7:50. In just a few minutes, we've got music news. You won't believe where Yoko Ono and Ringo Starr were caught together.
The sack.
In bed.
Really?
I'll explain.
Please.
I'm just guessing, man.
Yeah. The Seahawks have reportedly made a very controversial signing. We'll tell you who is headed to Seattle. Plus, you can win Mariners tickets next in sports. It's Friday.
I know what that means.
It's a free concert Friday.
Free concert Friday. That's right. And we got tickets for Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, nice.
Can you believe it? It's the holidays are almost upon us.
I don't approve.
You know, Trans-Siberian and pumpkin lattes, that's it. It's here. Nothing you can do about it now.
Tickets for the show for their Ghost of Christmas Eve tour go on sale today at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster, but we'll have a chance to win before you can even buy those tickets right on this very show. And then all day long, Free Concert Friday.
Free Concert Friday.
Listen for those guys
Win
from
them
Woodstock.
before you can buy them right here on this show. Is
That's
that what
right.
you're trying to say to me?
That's what I'm trying to say.
It sounds almost like a Christmas miracle.
It really is.
So before our show is over.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Today.
Thank you. Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
In bed together.
That's super weird, but I've got theories.
What's your theory, Danny?
They're doing something about the bed-in from 100 years ago or whenever it was.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's a good theory. Thank you, Bonaduce. You're welcome.
Yoko Ono, Ringo Starr, and Jeff Bridges, and a couple other folks.
Jeff Bridges?
Yep.
The hell's that for?
They joined the mayor of New York
No.
and hosted or staged a Beatles-themed bed-in to support New York City's schools.
Well, it's nice and everything, but shouldn't somebody tell, was it the mayor or the governor that got in the sack with him?
Mayor.
It just seems like a weird, I mean, it's great and everything, but if you looked outside the window and seen that there's a hurricane going to dislodge 1 million Americans, have you looked at Boston and seen houses are blowing up left and right? I know. Let's get in bed with John Lennon's widow. People will care about this, and something will be fixed when it's done.
It's the 5th annual Come Together NYC event, which marked the return of the John
She's
Lennon
awful old for that.
educational tour bus. They all are just trying to raise money and raise awareness about the public school systems. And there are photos of Yoko and Ringo cuddling in bed.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
Everybody had to make friends for a couple of different reasons. The big one being rock band. Beatles rock band. Everybody had to give permission for that because sometimes you just need John and Yoko, to be honest. I mean, Paul and Yoko, because they wrote most of the songs they're going to do for like that Vegas show. So you just need them. But for things that use their images and they want to look as much like Ringo, let's say, as well, everybody, here's what it came down to. Everybody had to be nice to Yoko because she doesn't always play that nice. Yeah. So I think a lot of them made up. And on the other hand, I think Paul McCartney is waiting for her to die so he can write a book. Because whoever dies first, the other guy gets to write a book. That's almost the law about these two.
Yeah.
When regular people have a garage sale, they're lucky to clear a couple $100. But if you're Rod Stewart, you can bring in well over $100,000.
Nice.
Did Rod Stewart have a garage sale?
Yep.
Oh, that's really cool.
You know what? It happens all the time, not just Rod Stewart, but big stars decide, hey, what am I going to do with this junk? Should I give it away? Should I, how do I get it all out? We run the commercials for that. Just wave your arm. We'll say whatever, 1-800-JUNK. Whatever that is. That's a genius idea, by the way. Yeah. And sometimes every now and goes, so what if I'm famous? I can have a garage sale.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago Russell Crowe was having a garage sale.
I can't pay for my divorce sale or whatever that was.
Well, Rod Stewart got rid of unwanted furniture and home decor, and the sale brought in almost just over $100,000. And some of the stuff was super fancy, like some Victorian leather armchairs, a leather print lounge couch.
Neat. I'd have bought that.
19th century wall mirrors and other fine furnishings. Those mirrors went for a lot. The armchairs were the most popular item. They were just under $10,000.
Oh, okay, I'm out. I thought $3,000, and it wouldn't be really Rod Stewart. But if they say Yoko had a John Lennon, and you could get a chair John Lennon sat in, and it was only $3,000, I would scrape together that money.
Well, if you're wondering why would Rod Stewart do this, on the bright side, it all went to children's charities. So he didn't pocket it. He doesn't need the money.
No, he does not need the money. He's doing just fine.
Hey, it's almost here next weekend, the iHeartRadio Music Festival. That's right, next weekend. And that's September 21st and 22nd. Some of the biggest names in music will be all together on one stage. There are going to be special collaborations and just so many amazing artists. We want to send you to Las Vegas to see the show on us. You are listening for the keyword. You text it to 200-200 for your chance to win a trip for two. And your next chance to text in and win happens at 8:10 this morning.
You think that's the only way to get tickets now? Do you think you can still buy them and pay for your own airfare, pay for your own hotel? I mean, it's a great prize is the point, because who wants to do all that? But these are some huge, any one of these acts, and especially the three I'm thinking of, could sell out the, what is it, AT&T Arena, Model T Arena,
T-Mobile.
Ice-T Arena.
Yeah.
T-Mobile.
Yeah, that thing.
Not the Sweet Tea Arena.
You'd think that it'd be all sold out by now, but apparently we still have seats.
We do, yeah.
And we'll do that thing before this show is over.
That's right.
What do you do after achieving EGOT status?
Yeah, what do you do?
What do you do?
You join The Voice. If you're John Legend.
Now I know what to do after I get my EGOT.
I was going to say, I was confused about who it was going to be, and that this is a huge step down, but it's not anymore, you know, because you're hosting a game show. Your career is over when that happens. Those days have changed. Gigantic stars. J-Lo does it. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
He'll get $20 million for the season, I'll bet.
And he doesn't even need it.
And he doesn't even need it, but he's doing it for some reason.
Though, right?
John Legend will be taking a seat in a spinning red chair next to Adam Levine, Blake Shelton, and Kelly Clarkson for the spring cycle of the singing competition.
So they added a chair.
I don't watch that show. I thought it was already 4 people.
Yeah, I think 4 is
Has it
normal.
always been 4?
I think so, yeah.
No. I thought, okay, Adam, Gwen Stefani, let's say.
Yeah.
And then
And
Blake.
Usher was on and Blake.
Yeah, but they come and they go.
I
So
know
it's
they
all-
rotate, but yeah, I
It's
thought
always
it was
been
4.
4, right?
Well, y'all can find out who sits where when The Voice returns on September 24th, 8 p.m. on NBC. Move over, Steve. Blue has a new pal in Blue's Clues and You, the Nickelodeon reboot of the classic kids show. It's a relative newcomer called Joshua De La Cruz. He recently appeared on stage in Disney's Aladdin. He's done a couple of shows like Time After Time and Bull. He will be the new host of the preschooler targeted series.
Neat. Now, he was in those plays on Broadway or on a theater.
Yeah,
So
the
what
other
we-
ones are TV shows.
What do we know is that he can sing super well then.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because he won't use it on that show, or at least for the most part, I don't think.
Well, that's going to be reimagined, so maybe he will.
Maybe, yeah.
he will sing. The original host, Steve Burns, was pictured with the new host and said he was actually part of the search for the new host, and he gives him 2 thumbs up. He said he can definitely fill my shoes and the rugby shirt, which is cute.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
I assume he wore a rugby shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a blue and white striped rugby shirt that he wore all the time.
You've never seen Help? And what else? But she knows what the guy
Blue's
on Blue's Clues dresses like.
And Designing Women just took a big step closer to its TV return. 25 years after wrapping up a 7-season run, ABC has said we would like it. Now, this is going to be billed as a sequel, and the 2 original people who were behind it are Harry Thomason and Linda Bloodworth Thomason.
Oh, man, they're behind some great stuff.
Yeah, and they will be behind this.
I may or may not have worked for them. I can't remember. I think my dad did.
Yeah.
Former Breaking Bad star and Emmy winner Aaron Paul is joining HBO's Westworld for its 3rd season. He'll be a regular, but the show is keeping details of his character a secret for now. He'll actually be the 2nd Breaking Bad actor to appear on Westworld, following Giancarlo Esposito, who made a cameo in season 2. Now, for those of you who watch, you know this upcoming season will look very different because several people, I will not name who, are no longer on the show.
Why won't you name who?
I don't want to spoil it in case someone hasn't finished it.
How do you know?
Because I saw the article in Hollywood Reporter saying who was gone.
Well, then I think the spoiler has been alerted.
Somebody saw it. Yeah. Somebody at the
yeah.
Hollywood Reporter watched it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are either dead or gone from Westworld, including some big actors, some big characters.
The little guy, they killed the little guy, right?
Did they kill the little guy?
And
I
the
know the
school
school teacher
teacher.
got caught in that fire.
Kathy Griffin is having a moment. She just announced she has signed with a new representative, APA. She'll be taking the stage at the Equality California's Los Angeles Equality Awards happening on September 29th. And Kathy Griffin will be celebrated with the Comedian of the Year prize at the first annual Palm Springs International Comedy Festival. What are we tooting on?
We're tooting on winning Comic of the Year. She didn't work last year.
She was out on tour, but I think that was 3 or 4 dates.
You don't win Comic of the Year. If there people are busting their ass out on the road, 3 shows a night. She has, she did something. She's getting a reward for doing something stupid. Now, I don't personally care about that thing that she did. I can't go into too much detail because you can't make too many weird things about a sitting president of the United States. But it was just a dumb thing. I don't care. But I think she's just an ass, and she's hostile and mean-spirited, and she didn't work for a year, and she certainly doesn't deserve an award.
Yeah, if the award was some sort of bounce-back award, like you overcame.
I know, I'd have to give her mine.
But if it's just best comic of the year, there's got to be dozens of comics better.
Yes. Oh, that's when she's still working. There's a dozen comics better. Her show's a gossip show. Yeah. I don't think there's a joke in it.
What they said is, we didn't think long about who should be named Comedian of the Year.
Well, they should have thought a little longer because there are other options.
I'm absolutely with Paul.
It was a no-brainer to honor Kathy Griffin.
Yes, it was.
After all she's been through, Kathy has pulled off the biggest comeback in entertainment history since Marlon Brando was blacklisted and went on to win an Oscar in 1972. Kathy speaks for all Americans in defense of our First Amendment rights. Kathy is one comedian who is literally on the minds and mouths of the world. She boldly and bravely spoke truth to power, was blacklisted, harassed, shunned, and now has emerged as a fiery phoenix from the ashes. What other comedian can say that?
I don't know, I'll go with
a bunch of them, probably. Yeah, Danny Bonaduce.
A bunch of people. The only thing is, here's why I'll tolerate it, because of the Palm Springs thing. And if my retirement plans work well, in 15 years, I will be there working with that, trying to get my star on the Palm Springs Walk of Fame.
So
not kidding, it's a real thing.
We shouldn't call him brain dead?
No. But we did. And they are. All right, I'll give up my star. They're crazy to do that.
All right, so
Paula Poundstone had first of all, she's brilliant.
But she's not the comic of the year this year, right?
No, she's not. Well, I don't know. She might have been last year. But she's like brilliant funny. And just stands there and talks because genius words shoot out of her face. Not gimmicks and outing people that are gay that don't want to be outed. But she's, she came back more than anybody else. They were going to put her in jail till they found out she didn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah, there's
Paula Poundstone's my vote.
So I'm looking at Kathy Griffin's website. She has actually been doing an extensive tour, and she has raised almost $12,000 for Project Trevor, which is an organization to help young LGBTQ people.
Okay, when I go, make sure you know that it's of her, not of the LGBTQ community. 12 grand? An extensive tour raised 12 grand from a headlining comic that sells out wherever she goes. She pocketed it. Now I'm calling her a thief, allegedly.
We have a lot of new movies opening up in theaters this weekend, and just after 9 o'clock, Derek will tell us which movies to see, which movies not to see. And Derek is just about to tell us how to go see some movies this weekend for free.
That's right. KZOK has teamed up with Atom Tickets for Free Movie Friday.
Free Movie Friday.
The Atom Tickets app lets you browse movie titles, buy tickets, invite friends, pre-order concessions, all from your phone, and skip the lines. Today, Atom Tickets wants to give you a chance at free movie tickets. Text them now. Text WIND, that's W-I-N-D, to Atom1, that's 28661, for your chance to win. Standard data and text message rates may apply.
Free Movie Friday. I was drinking coffee the last time. I didn't get a chance to yell it.
Get ready to yell again, because let's take a look at sports.
Sports
Brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Nelson Cruz hit a 3-run homer. Mike Leake pitched 7 strong innings, and the Seattle Mariners started their 10-game road trip with a victory.
Oh, turning it around.
8-2 victory over the Los Angeles Angels. Now, Nelson Cruz has mad hits against the Angels. It was his 50th against that team alone, which gives him the second most for any player against the team. Alex Rodriguez hit 70 against the Angels. Don't know what's going on there. But the Mariners are now on the road facing the Angels tonight, 7:07 start time on Root Sports. So away game, but if you would like to win tickets to an upcoming home game, call us right now. We're going to play you a song clip. You start calling, and the first person to tell us title, artist, and year it came out wins tickets to an upcoming game. Derek, hit it. right, call right now, 800-252-1025. Artist, song title, and year it came out to win tickets. All right, so on the road, and you noticed I didn't tell you who was pitching tonight because James Paxton has pneumonia and had to be scratched. Scott Service says it will be a bullpen game. Now, Gene Segura also out.
What's that mean to those that don't know what a bullpen
We don't
game
have a starter. Felix Hernandez is out as well. Neither him nor Gene Segura started for the team, so they're going to rotate out pitchers pretty quickly.
Cool.
As opposed to starting somebody and have them pitch for 6 innings. I don't know who's going to start the game because they don't know who's going to start the game yet. Let's see. I keep saying Monday Night Football. Thursday Night Football last night.
Yeah.
The Bengals defeated the Ravens 34-23.
That was a good game. Well, when I watched it, I was asleep.
It was a good game. Now, the Ravens started their season looking red hot. The Bengals looked awful. A little bit of a role reversal yesterday. The Bengals looked pretty good. 34-23. Now, a lot of teams will be playing on Sunday. However, the Seahawks will wait till Monday for Monday Night Football, 5:15 against the Bears in Chicago. And we are getting a report that Michael Kendricks has signed a 1-year deal with the Seahawks. Some of you are probably thinking that name sounds familiar. Why is that? We were just talking about him. He pleaded guilty to charges of insider trading.
Oh, right. For like $1.
$1.2 million.
Oh, wrong case. Yeah. I thought it was like $50 or something crazy.
He won the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and then he used tips from an acquaintance to make $1.2 million in illegal profits on 4 major trading deals. The NFL says that this legal situation is under review. He is allowed to sign and participate with a team while this goes on, and he had been released by the Browns, and the Seahawks said, "We'll take you."
Oh, the Browns let him go. I don't even know what that means.
But I mean, do you think was he released because they thought he could face suspension and won't be able to play?
I think
so. Or is he released because he's not any good anymore?
No, I think that he just won the Super Bowl. I think they had to deal with the drama.
Right. Let me ask you something. Say we needed a sports reporter in this very, very room, and this guy was qualified to do it. What's his name?
Softy? Who are we talking about?
This player?
Oh, this player, Michael Kendricks.
Michael Kendricks. So he's not handling your money. Would you hire him?
To do what?
Sports.
To be a broadcaster?
To be a broadcaster? I would like to see him play for my team because he's super young and he's a really good player. I don't know anything about his sports knowledge.
No, I'm just asking if you'd hire a guy after that kind. Say he got convicted.
Yeah, financial.
Me too.
A financial crime doesn't worry me too much.
That doesn't worry me, and it's one of victimless financial crime.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. No, I don't care at all. Insider trading? No, if you beat your wife,
I get why it's illegal.
Yeah, me too. I'm just saying I'd still hire the guy. But let's talk to iHeart because they still hire me. So they've got kind of loose rules about who they're going to hire.
Gotcha. No, I thought you were talking about Softy, who is going to be joining us on Monday to break down the Seahawks game for us.
Is he going to be in his Speedo, or is that not till the end of the season?
Not till the end of the season. If you missed it yesterday, we were talking about Softy, who, sports legend in this town. He said if the Seahawks win the division, he will shave off all his hair and walk down the street in a banana hammock.
He said he'd do both?
Shave off all his body hair, yeah. Not his, his head's already not shaved, but pretty cropped.
Head's on his body.
But he's going to shave off all his body hair and walk down Elliott here in front of our building.
Any chance he's going to lose this bet or win this bet?
Slim to none.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember what the bet is. What's the bet?
That the Hawks won't win the division, that they won't win the NFC West.
He says that they won't.
Correct, yeah.
All right.
He thinks they still have a shot to go to the playoffs.
Why are we inviting him into this room then? I don't like him anymore. Who bets against their Hawks on the radio in Seattle?
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Tomorrow, college football, UW versus Utah, 7 p.m. WSU versus USC, 7:30 p.m. As we told you, the Mariners on the road facing the LA Angels tonight, 7:07 start time on Root Sports. But we were playing an in-studio version of Mariners KZOK Music Trivia. Derek, play that song again.
Rockin'.
Lisa in Ording, she knew that was Foreigner, Jukebox Hero, 1982.
I had maybe one of those.
Year's always a tough one, but Lisa in Ording is going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up tickets to what, Derek?
Lisa won tickets for the game on Friday, September 28th at 7:10 p.m. versus the Texas Rangers, which just happens to be Fan Appreciation Night.
Fan Appreciation Night.
The Mariners celebrate the best fans in baseball at Fan Appreciation Night. All fans take home a team poster, plus there will be prizes, surprises, and more throughout the night. Then don't miss the final fireworks night of the season. The Mariners have partnered with Pyro Spectaculars, the same company who produces the New Year's Eve at the Space Needle Extravaganza. Visit mariners.com/fireworks for more information.
All right. Well, congratulations and go Mariners. Your next chance to win will be Monday morning right around this same time. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
All righty, let me tell you about the C word. It's coming up this morning at 7:20. It is a game, and it is a good game, so don't be a coward. Oh, that's not it, is it?
I hope not.
Don't be a chick. Oh, no. Whatever it is, it's a C word, and you should be here at 7:20 this morning because we're playing, and you can win lots of stuff, including tickets and food vouchers to Crafts and Cars Saturday at Evergreen Speedway.
We were talking in the news about monkeypox.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of an outbreak of monkeypox happening in England, which is a scary and rare disease. And we started talking about monkeypox and chickenpox.
Yeah.
And it occurred to us we didn't actually know why is it even called chickenpox?
Oh, yeah, I definitely don't know.
Doesn't come from chickens.
Nope.
And therefore, that's a misnomer. They're misleading us about the pox.
Well, maybe it started with a coward.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's so
Okay.
afraid of getting the pox that were running around.
Yeah.
And they said, you're a chicken. And right as they said that, he got him. Mystery solved.
Well, it's like koala bears.
Yeah.
They're not bears.
They're not
Not
bears.
bears.
They're marsupials.
Yes,
Yeah.
why are we calling that? If somebody's lying to us again. It's a misnomer.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you for sure on the koala bears.
Well, what's another one you can think of?
Iricorn.
Ear of corn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not
Why?
an ear.
It's not an ear.
Son,
No.
no. Why do they call it that?
Why do they call it that?
I don't know. And the thing, now that I just added, you ready? The things on it are not actually kernels, so you don't have to obey their orders.
You don't have
if
to
you're in
salute
the
them at
army.
all.
Well, why is a starfish called a starfish? It's not a fish.
But it is a star shape.
It's not a fish?
It's not a fish.
No, I don't think it's a fish.
I thought everything that lives underwater and doesn't have to come up to breathe was some kind of fish.
Well, apparently there are a whole lot of misnomers. I'm sure you guys listening can think of a couple. What do you got? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025 or text in 90627. What is something you find to be a misnomer?
Alrighty, so here's the question. Monkeypox, I don't think they come from monkeys. Chickenpox certainly don't come from chickens. What is the other? Prince probably wasn't royalty. You never know. Anyway, what is something that you find to be a total misnomer? 1-800-252-1025 or text to 90627.
Chris in Arlington, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Killer whale is not a whale. It's a dolphin.
It's a dolphin. Yeah.
That's
so
a
weird.
great example.
Yeah.
That's quite a misnomer.
It's a great
I
example.
don't know if you guys heard, but they just found Jay.
No,
and,
where?
he
Where
didn't
was she?
make it.
Where? I'm sorry,
She
where?
was up by the San Juans,
And?
and they just found her body.
Oh,
Aw,
damn it.
bummer.
That's J50, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to
that's a
hear that, man.
bummer.
So thanks for calling and really depressing the show.
Thanks for the update,
No, but
Chris.
I just learned that within a month that whales are dolphins. I was afraid to even say it for fear I had heard the wrong thing because it didn't make sense to
The
me.
killer whales, yeah.
They're
Dean-
killer dolphins.
Dean in Snoqualmie, what is something you find to be a misnomer?
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
It's an engine runs on fuel and a motor runs on electricity, so they call it an outboard motor and a motorcycle, and it's just a pet peeve of mine. I've always hated that.
I swear to God, if I had the vaguest idea what you're saying, I'd agree with you
So
completely.
a motorcycle shouldn't be called a motorcycle because
Should be called an engine cycle.
an engine
Is
cycle.
that right? Is that what you're saying?
A motor runs on electricity.
Right.
So why would you call it an outboard motor? It doesn't run on electricity, or a motorcycle doesn't run on electricity.
All right,
So
I got it.
So it shouldn't be called a motorcycle. It should be called an engine cycle.
Now, I really like Dean, but do we just accept him as true? Are all of those things actually
I think
factual?
he's right.
I think he's right.
Yeah,
right?
motor
Especially the
runs on
motor part on
electricity.
electricity.
Engine runs on gas.
What about Christine and Renton? What is something you find to be a misnomer?
Hi, what about disc jockey?
Yeah, we have no discs.
I could not agree with you more.
And we don't ride horses.
That's
For
true.
1 year, I believe, or maybe less, I worked in a radio station that had turntables and could play records. Never did, but could. Could we in this room?
No,
we
could
don't.
not, no.
Yeah, so I am down with you completely. You're absolutely right.
What about Steve in Seattle? What do you find to be a misnomer?
Hey, Steve.
I find this a problem. Why do they call it a monkey wrench? It's nothing monkey about the wrench. It's a wrench.
You're absolutely right, but
That's right.
it has to do with the design. Have you ever seen a rope tied up and then called a monkey fist?
No.
It's from a particular design with spirals that you.
And did a monkey design it?
No, it has nothing to do with a monkey. It's two misnomers in one.
800-252-1025. What is something you find to be a misnomer? Now, I've got one that might perplex you a little bit.
All right.
Danny, what do you string a violin with?
A bow.
What are the strings?
Cat's guts.
Cat gut.
But it's not really cat, right?
Nope.
That would
No,
be-
but it was, wasn't it?
No,
I
never.
think you're wrong.
It's sheep gut.
Oh, then you think you might be right.
So why?
Well, it's not now either. It's not gut anymore.
No, most of the time I think they use plastic, but
Yeah,
no,
they make
they said it's never ever been cat
So
gut.
what's the misnomer? Because I think what you're saying is just a mistake.
No, they chose to call it cat gut to trick us all.
Instead, they're
Yeah,
doing
good.
the whole Iceland Greenland thing.
Yes.
They're just trying to trick you.
We're going to rush right out because we believe it to be cat gut because we wouldn't buy the sheep gut. That makes perfect sense.
We
That's a
don't.
good
We'd
example,
say,
Paul.
"Oh, poor sheep. Let's leave the sheep alone."
Yeah.
But cat gut, we're
Yeah.
fine with.
All right, I got one for Paul. Ready?
Yeah.
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it should be
Maybe
called
the okay canyon.
Yeah, at best, the
Yeah.
good canyon. But the Grand Canyon, I don't know.
We have some great text into 90627. DJ in Puyallup says there are no beans in a beanbag chair or in those beanbag babies. No beans at all.
Beanie Babies, yeah.
All right.
The gooey duck is gooey, but it's not a duck. It's a clam.
Nope, he or she is absolutely correct on
Yeah.
that one.
Oh, why do we call them apartments when they're not apart at all? They're all hooked together. That's a great one.
You know what my problem is the way my mind works. I'm like trying to answer. Why do we do this? And I'm thinking I'll answer because I'm smart.
Yeah.
Don't know one of these. Not one of these do I can explain
That's
these.
funny.
Blair from Lake Stevens says duct tape does not go on ducks. Don't do it, people.
Our Blair?
No, different Blair.
Well, we know a lot of Blairs.
Oh, did I say Blair from Lake Stevens?
I don't know what you said. You
I
said
don't
Blair.
know. We're not listening to you.
Yeah.
Well, if I did, then yeah, he's going to be joining us today.
So it is
yeah,
our
Blair
Blair.
from Lake Stevens. Yeah, our buddy.
Fantastic.
And he says that he actually wrestled Chris Pratt in high school. So we'll have to talk to him about that.
Well, then you two have to wrestle when he gets here. And the winner wrestled Chris Pratt in high school.
Potato chip in Seattle. What is something you find to be a misnomer?
Potato chip.
Yep.
How about a bullseye? When you shoot an arrow at a, you're trying to hit the bullseye.
Yeah.
Why you want to hit the bull in the eye? Actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I will go with that. I think I understand it, but it's still a total misnomer. It's not.
It
It's certainly
is.
not a bull. Bull has rings that would kind of look like that in its eye.
Somebody just texted in and says, I was really terribly upset that Tiny House Hunters was not little people looking for real estate. That might be the text of the day.
Nice, very nice.
Good morning to Rob in Louisville.
Hey, Rob.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Well, I'm gonna steal this one from the late great George Carlin. When
Okay.
they say you can get on the plane, no, thank you. I'm going to get in the plane.
George
true.
Carlin was
You don't get
funnier
on
when
it.
he said it. Really. But yes, I actually remember that bit. It was before he invented the hippy dippy weatherman. Very funny. I love George Carlin.
Ken and Everett, what is something you find to be a misnomer?
Jumbo shrimp.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely.
And an oxymoron as well. That is a great one. I'll give you one I learned recently and had a little bit of a fight about. Oyster mushrooms. There's no oysters in there. It's
No,
kind
there's
of a
not.
mushroom. My wife told me we were having oyster mushroom soup. I saw a comma in there somewhere. We're having oyster mushroom. What if she had said, "Oh, we're having steak mushroom soup"? I'd have assumed two things.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Oyster
How about the
mushrooms, my
lobster
ass.
claw mushroom? That'll really mess you up.
I didn't even know there was such an
It's
animal.
red and looks like a lobster. But it's not. It's a mushroom.
Bastards.
I am still thinking about a motorcycle being named the wrong thing.
Yeah, what's the boat's called? An engine cycle?
Engine cycle, yeah.
Brian in Woodinville, good morning.
Well, he's technically right on that. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But and another one that kind of bugs me. I'm an engineer, so the difference between a pipe and a tube, everybody will say they're the same thing or use them interchangeably.
What is the difference between a pipe and a tube?
One's hollow and stuff runs through it, and the other one lights up when you hit the power. What are you talking about? You're a crazy person, Brian.
A tube's measured on the OD, a pipe's measured on the ID.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I had to show my ID after I OD'd. It was really weird, man. Thank you, Brian.
Cindy in Tukwila, hello.
Yeah. Hiya, Cindy.
Hi, how about a driveway and a parkway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
You're absolutely. Oh, I like that one a whole bunch.
Do you know which one drives me crazy, too, is freeway and highway. Now, on the East Coast, there are highways. They're not free. So why aren't they, or they're charging,
They're
right?
told.
They're told.
There can't be a freeway
Actually,
if it's told.
I started my little radio career in Philly and did not know to watch what I said and look around. And I was corrected all the time about that.
They're highways, not freeways.
I still, by the way, people do that here. I was corrected 57 times about saying, oh, I took the 99. Oh, no, I didn't. I took 99.
But why are we calling parts of 405 a freeway? Because it's not free. They charge you.
Yeah, I don't know really what the difference is.
Well,
between
one takes
freeway
your
and a
money.
highway. Yeah.
What? Oh.
No, I know what the difference between a toll road and a non-toll road is.
Fair enough.
Hey, our friend Lenny in Tacoma's calling.
Lenny, where the hell have you been?
Oh, I've been staying busy. How about you guys?
We've been doing this. What do you got for us, buddy?
Well, this is very timely for you and I, Danny, because it's our annual razor clam season coming up. So I would.
We going out again this year? Are we going out again this year?
You bet we are.
All right. What do you got for us, Lenny?
Clam gun. It ain't a gun.
It is not. I didn't even.
Not a gun.
You don't shoot the clams?
No, it's like a stick or
Oh,
something.
I thought now it doesn't sound as fun. I thought
It
you go out
does
there and you
not.
shoot the clams.
Don't shoot the clams. I'm sure there are rules.
A couple more texters chimed in. MTV, music television. There's no music anymore.
No. It was right, then it was wrong, then it was right, now it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why do we wear a pair of pants? It's just a single.
I've wondered about that.
There's
one
not
myself.
two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
wondered
good
about
one,
that
too.
Hey, what's in my hot dog? Because unless it's actually dog and nobody's telling me, it's a misnomer.
Paul, what do you think? What's something you find to be a misnomer?
I've never seen a single bald eagle that was bald. They all have feathers. Every single one of them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Tori, how about you?
A hedgehog definitely isn't a bush pig.
It's not a hog or a hedge.
I'm confused
It's
by a lot
not
of
a
these.
bush pig. You know, I used to have a nickname in high school. It's the bush pig.
Thanks for the calls and texts. It is now time to play one final round of the C Word.
The C Word.
You can win a pair of tickets and food vouchers for Crafts and Cars this Saturday at the Evergreen Speedway. Sample some great craft beer. Check out cool, fast cars all at one big event. If you want to play, call right now, 800-252-1025. On 102.5 KZOK, where we are playing our final round of the C Word.
Oh, I'll be sad to see this go.
I'm going to miss it.
The prize is pretty great, though. A pair of tickets and food vouchers for Crafts and Cars happening Saturday at the Evergreen Speedway. You can enjoy dozens of craft beers, car show, live music, a cornhole tournament with cash prizes, autocross, a kids' fun zone, food vendors, and more. How much fun does that sound?
Sounds awesome.
This much.
Oh, and that live music, one of the bands is Washed in Black. Our buddy Kevin Hammond's Pearl Jam tribute band.
Oh, very cool.
So, yeah, good
But
music.
Definitely want to win these tickets, don't you? Here's how it works.
You know what Kevin Hammond should do?
Yeah.
Hear his band play. Drummers in rock bands always. It's like you say, hey, Kev, what's up? And what? You really have to start it like that. But his bands, he's in like 2 different bands, and they are great. So go check them out.
John in Monroe is our contestant. John, in order to win, you will have to correctly identify the C word from Danny's clue.
Okay.
All right. Let me ask you something right off the bat there, John. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yes, I do.
That's a good sign. And do you understand the rules of the game?
I believe you're going to ask me some question, and I'm going to answer it with some word that starts with a C.
Yeah,
Close
you do.
enough,
You understand
yeah.
the rules of the game. I would say that was it right there. Okay, by the way, I'm going to bet on John.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Anybody? Okay. Here we go there, John. I'm betting on you, buddy. this C word, that toddling town. Bet your bottom dollar that you'll lose the blues in this C word. It's a song that has been recorded by Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, and countless other greats. It is the third largest city in the United States of America, and it's the rock band from the same city who gave us 25 or 624. Can you identify the C word?
Well, let me think really, really hard.
Okay, man.
Take 10, 15, 20 minutes on this and say Chicago.
Yeah. I could tell by the sound of his voice he was going to get it.
Nice job, John. Congratulations. Chicago was the correct answer. You're going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets and food vouchers for crafts and cars happening tomorrow at the Evergreen Speedway. Tickets and info available at evergreenspeedway.com. That was fun, but the fun continues. The big news of the day is next.
And the big news of the day is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
Hurricane Florence is making landfall this morning, wreaking havoc up and down the East Coast. And now experts are reporting there could be another strange devastation that could be added to the list.
That sounds like one of the TV shows I watch. Strange devastation.
Well, we know there's going to be terrible flooding.
Yeah.
We know that people are going to wind up losing their homes and their businesses. And now zoo officials are warning venomous snakes from the wetlands could start slithering down the streets.
Well, not if they're flooded, but then they'll start swimming down the streets because
Exactly.
those rat bastards can swim like fishies. Did you know
crazy.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that till I saw, that's the one kind of snake that can swim. Nope, they all swim like they're...
May uproot some 38 species of snakes, including cottonmouths and copperhead vipers.
They've been smoking pot. Those cottonmouths. And I'll tell you this, because I don't love snakes. The only thing scarier than a regular old cottonmouth would be a swimming cotton. It's just a scary sight.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, as if they weren't already facing enough. Now they got to look out for snakes. Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos made a huge announcement yesterday. He is giving $2 billion to start a fund that will open preschools in low-income neighborhoods and also give money to nonprofits that help homeless families.
All right, is Bezos gone nice, or is he just sick of not being the guy that gives away billions?
Yeah, I feel like we deserve much of the credit for this because we talked a lot about on the show about
Bill Gates would be the richest man in the world today if he weren't so generous, unlike some people whose names rhyme with Bezos.
Obviously, Bezos was listening.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
here we go.
He always listens. He won't stop writing me.
Well, you're welcome, because this show accomplished it.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, $2 billion to a new foundation, which is, it's amazing.
All kidding aside, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's a great thought.
Now, some have joined us saying he should give more.
Yeah.
And, he has a decent track record here in Seattle, and it's getting much, much bigger.
Yeah, here's the thing about Jeff Bezos giving more under us. I don't really care. But I just wonder, after a while, how much money do you possibly need? You got to start figuring out ways to give it away.
Yeah.
Like Bill Gates is. But I think, unlike Bill Gates, who seems like, your nice uncle or whatever, I think Bezos is a raving lunatic mad scientist. And he's going to take over the world. Here's the thing. Totally okay with me. I would live in a Bezos world.
I have some bad news to report in big news this morning.
Well, then don't do it. It'll hurt.
I have to tell you, it's important.
All right.
Volkswagen says it will stop making its iconic Beetle in July of next year.
Well, here's why I don't feel as terrible as I could. I think they stopped making the iconic Beetle almost 20 years ago.
Because the new one doesn't.
It's nice. I like it. If somebody gave me one, I'd be fine. They're convertible ones. And this will give you an idea that I don't consider it a bug. We're sitting there playing Slug Bug, and that car goes right by, and you hit me, I'm going to punch you in the face because you cheated.
It doesn't count?
No!
The new Beetle doesn't count?
Anything up to after 75 does not count in Slug Bug world.
Oh, wow. You would have been hitting me a lot because I felt like they count.
Oh, no, totally not. Because I'm in charge, man.
The Beetle was developed in Nazi Germany in 1938. Came
That
to
takes
the
some of the fun out of it.
States 11 years later. It was sold for 30 years before production ceased. It was then revived in 1998. Revamped for the 2012 model year, trying to get more male buyers, and now they said, pulling the plug.
So, quick question, because everybody knew that the Nazis had to drive around in something, and there were good auto plants in Germany. But the fact that it was only 11 years after World War II, we brought up their pictures of Hitler driving down the street, waving to people, and we go, "Oh yeah, that's a good car. Let's get that."
It's cute. Yeah, it's cute. Let's get one of those cute little Nazi cars.
Yeah, cute little Nazi cars. It just doesn't sound right, and I bet they never advertised that.
Probably not.
How about some good news?
Yeah.
The House this week passed a bill outlawing the consumption of cats and dogs in the U.S. of A.
Oh, I didn't know we still did that.
Yeah, me either.
Well, they've been trying to pass this for several years.
Who was against it? I mean, are there people going with nay votes?
Some people are getting an exception. Those who perform religious ceremonies, Native American tribes, Indian tribes will be exempt.
Well, they're exempt from a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I know a bunch. I really do. I know a bunch of Native Americans. I live in Seattle. I get around. I never met one of them that eats their pets.
No.
It doesn't seem like a real thing.
Believe it or not, slaughtering cats and dogs is legal in 44 states until now. They said they wanted to make sure that this was on the books, that you cannot slaughter cats and dogs for food.
Is Tori still going to prison?
Quite possibly.
All right, just want to check that out.
We might want to give her an exemption because I don't think she eats them. She just stores them next to her food.
Not bush pig or whatever it is she's up to these days.
One of David Hockney's famous pool paintings is headed to auction and is expected to break records. They believe it will sell in the $80 million range, which will easily break the record for a piece of work by a living artist.
Wow.
The British...
I got to be honest with you, because I could fake it through that I'm a big fan of Hockney. I could get away with it. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. Are we talking swimming pool or billiards?
Yeah, what is that?
Swimming
What's his pool painting? Oh,
and he paints your pool? Does he do tile work?
So he does the murals like in the bottom of the pool. That's cool.
They're very modern looking. They're pretty. They look like it would be a piece of art you would put on like a beach home, like someplace like a summer feel.
So they're really paintings of pools?
Mm-hmm. This is called Portrait of an Artist, Pool with Two Figures, and it's people like swimming in a pool, like very modern.
I wonder if I have any of his artwork at my house. We have a big picture that my mother-in-law gave my wife, and it's of a big, it looks like a bathhouse, but it's obviously a shelter over the ocean, like where docks could go, but it's meant for swimming. I wonder if that's one.
Should find out if it's worth $80 million.
Well, I'm sure it's a photograph of an expensive painting, but I'm going to go home and check today because I never heard of this guy.
Yeah, it's very vibrant colors. It almost reminds me of Matisse, but Matisse's art is very like childlike. This is very beautiful, just very bright, vibrant colors. Looks like something you might put in New Mexico. You following me?
Yeah.
So they believe this will go for about $80 million.
Crazy.
The previous record by a living artist was Jeff Koons's Balloon Dog, which sold for $58.4 million.
I feel bad for the guy that had to blow that thing up.
And now I need to look up and see what that looks like. Balloon Dog.
My daughter just got one of those at the dentist because she's in the No Cavity Club. They made her a little balloon dog.
I glued a horn to one and gave it to her as a unicorn.
It was free. They didn't even charge us.
I mean, who bought this for $58 million? People have too much money. It's Jeff Bezos, wasn't it?
That was $80 million.
This one was
$50 million for the balloon dog.
Oh.
Yep.
$80 million for the picture of a pool. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Anywhere near that amount of money is just crazy.
All right.
And some other good news, making news. You can now buy a surfboard that will help you if you are not the greatest surfer.
What's that mean?
Does it have a chair on it?
It's electric.
Oh.
It's electric.
Sorry, that just happened. These.
I forgot our dance, man.
Making up. You can't just do that.
I know we had like a whole routine, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was called the electric slide.
Yeah.
It exists, and we learned it.
Now, this is an electric surfboard that can zip you along at speeds of 35 miles per hour.
Yeah.
However, it will cost you a pretty penny. $21,800.
Okay, so it's different than all the electric surfboards I've seen on TV and stuff like that in some way. There's that one you see on a commercial these days where it actually lifts out of the water because it's got another fin.
I have seen that.
Yeah, that one. So lots of these things. By the way, I don't think these surfboards actually have motors.
Oh, so
I think they have engines.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't remember what that guy
wait,
said.
it's electric, which means it has a motor.
That's a motor.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a motor sailor. Motor surfer.
Or an electric surfboard. What a bargain. $21,800 to pretend you know how to surf.
The gnarliest one that I have seen, because I kind of wanted one, was $1,200. The other ones I saw were like $600.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, that was years ago, so I don't know.
So I finally found a picture of this artwork that went for $58 million, the most
balloon dog?
expensive.
The balloon dog?
It is a sculpture of a balloon dog.
It's not even a painting.
No, it's a sculpture. It's literally like what Jelly Bean got at the dentist's office, but made out of stainless steel and colored blue.
Is it the kind they float over the Macy's Day Parade?
Yeah.
All right.
No.
No.
That's the big news of the day. It's brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online, goldbergjones.com.
Okay, I'm going to help you guys out here. Here's our phone number. You might go and think, hey, why is he saying to call? It doesn't matter. Just call 1-800-252-1025. Because if you know where Sarah's Beaver has been, you're going to win a pair of tickets to see Dig This, Joan Jett, and the Blackhearts. Oh, yeah. Oh, Cheap Trick will be there, too. That's at the Washington State Fair, 1-800-252-1025 if you know where Sarah's Beaver's been. One thing. I got the beaver eating part.
Doo-doo.
Not yet. Ah, doo-doo. No. Looking around, all around town. Because there's people selling patches. It's weird to do in front of people.
It is.
Clue? I'll find your beaver and I'll be calling you.
Where's Sarah's beaver? Where's Sarah's beaver? Come on, guys. Where's Sarah's beaver?
I want to win on Danny's show. Uh-huh. There you go, man. There's a beaver song.
All right, we got a great prize, so why aren't you calling right now? 800-252-1025. The prize is what, Paul?
It is a pair of tickets to see Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, along with Cheap Trick at the Washington State Fair.
Woo!
Isn't it?
That's a
Yeah,
great
it
prize.
is. 2 people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
For the
All right.
same no money, because you win.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Each week, the beaver goes someplace new. We post those pictures to KZOK.com and Facebook.com/Sarah's Beaver. And then you call in and you win fabulous prizes. Phil in Morton, where has Sarah's Beaver been this week?
I think it's down in Oregon.
Why would the beaver? Well, I don't even know the answer yet, but why would the hell would the beaver be in Oregon?
A lot of wood down there, really
That's
forested.
true. Yeah. All right, that's fair enough.
I
Well,
don't know. I think it's just staying down there keeping dry.
Well, you know, that was a little broad. Oregon?
yes,
you
she
know?
is.
Is the beaver somewhere in the United States of America? On planet Earth. They have the University of Oregon down there. Isn't that the Beavers?
Yeah.
Or is it Oregon State? Oregon
And
State
what about
Beavers.
Beaver U? Isn't there a beaver?
Yeah, there's
college?
beavers all over.
Yeah,
Oregon. That
everywhere
has
you
to be
look, there's
right.
beavers.
Is the beaver in Oregon?
It's not right,
Why is
people.
that
I'm
possible?
sorry,
Oh.
Phil.
Sorry,
That
Phil.
is incorrect. Rob and Puyallup, where has Sarah's Beaver been this week?
Yeah, she's been floating around on the sinking ship garage in Pioneer Square.
Now, that sounds totally ludicrous.
It does.
He's
sound
completely right.
It does sound bizarre.
Well, but you're totally right. Seems to be the thing. So I think you win a pretty fabulous prize.
Robin Puyallup is right. The beaver went down to that very famous garage that just won the award for
Oh, yeah.
one of the best.
It's on
One of the coolest parking garages in the world. or whatever.
I took the underground tour, and that's even though it's well above ground, that's a big part of it, explaining how it was built to design like a ship.
Exactly. Looks like a ship. So the Beav went to check it out because it just won that award. So Rob and Puyallup, you're correct. You're going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets to Joan Jett, the Blackhearts, and Cheap Trick at the Washington State Fair.
You know, I was thinking about this morning, or even talking about it with Sarah and Paul, that this iHeart Music Festival is coming up, and I think any one of these acts could sell out T-Mobile Arena. And now there's 40 of these acts, so you should win them from us, and you can. September 21st and 22nd, it's in Vegas, baby. It's our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Some of the biggest names in show business are going to be there. Performances and collaborations you will not see anywhere else. Just Wait around for the free moment that we tell you to text. Text in and win. It's coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Oregon announced they're hosting a massive blank fort party. No.
Blank fort?
Blanket.
Well, I know
fort.
what you do under a blank fort.
Blanket fort.
Fill it in.
What do you think they're doing under the blank fort?
You are invited to join them and build a fort blanket. No, a blanket fort.
You really didn't have a
Yeah, you had
good
no
childhood, did you? No toys. Apparently, they took the blankets away from you, so you couldn't build a fort.
You can get to the Belonk Festival by taking your knuckle.
I remember when I was a kid, my parents bought a new refrigerator, and it was like the best day at my house because it was a toy.
Because you got a box.
Yeah.
Actually, that wasn't a bad sign. For even those of us that had toys, the brand new box was kind of a cool thing.
But blanket forts, we all built blanket forts when we were kids, right? And so they're inviting everyone to go to try to break the world record. Blanket forts are fun. And so they think it's all ages, but then at night, they're going to have it be 21 and over and have alcohol involved.
All right.
Underneath the blankets, they're going to give them booze.
It was stupid up until then.
Yeah.
And now I would love
now
to
you're
be a
back
part of
in.
it. Yeah.
But there are a lot of children's activities that make a comeback for adults. You know, kickball came back, and that was big for a while.
Yeah.
Wanting to play kickball because it really is a children's activity.
I love a lot of stuff that, that some people would say, well, that's just for kids. As a matter specifically, that's just for kids. A Happy Meal. Oh, I almost said the F word.
You really do love a Happy Meal.
Darn, yes, because they're going to look at you and say you can't have one because you're over 12. Shut and up.
And they don't. They'll give it to you. I mean, they assume that you left your kid in the car.
Denny's
They'll
won't
look
let you
down on
have off the kids' meal and stuff like that.
Yeah, most sit-down restaurants
Yeah,
won't.
so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a Happy Meal. Well, some things make me happier, but that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys listening, what's a children's activity that you still love? Danny wants the Happy Meal. Oregon wants to have everybody build blanket forts. What's a children's activity that you still love? Call 800-252-1025 or text in 90627 now.
Okay, for some reason, Oregon is hosting a huge blanket fort party, and that's something I did not do as a kid.
You didn't?
No, never. But then when I had kids, I don't know where they get it because I didn't know about it, but they all knew about blanket forts. Man,
Sixth
they're
Sense.
fun. They're so. I came out. I didn't come out for 7 weeks. I just right in there.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. So the question to you guys is: what children's activity do you still love? 1-800-252-1025, or you can text to 90627.
Yeah, the Sixth Sense kind of brought it back, except when he went inside of the blanket fort, there was a dead lady in there.
You have a very good memory. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he sees dead people?
He does.
Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Candy Graham's on the phone.
Hey, Candy, what's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
There's a great big kiddie pool in Seattle, around Green Lake. It's about 2 feet deep at the deepest.
I go there all
And
the
every
time.
What's that?
I go there
Oh,
all
you
the
do?
time. Yes, I do.
Oh,
Not that I go and sit in
wow.
the kiddie pool, but I do a lap of Green Lake several times a week, and I check every time to see if it's full or empty. It's super neat that the city does that.
So, Candy, you like to go sit in the kiddie pool?
Are you kidding? It's 2 feet deep at the deepest, and I want to jump in with those kids and dog paddle like I did when I was growing up.
Now, what do little babies have in common with each other most of the time?
Winky.
Yeah, there's a lot of pee in the kiddie's pool.
Yeah.
Well, it just ruined Candy's day.
Sorry, no, I feel bad. Halfway through, I thought, shut up, don't say anything. What are you, stupid?
She's having fun. Yeah,
Thank you,
come on,
kid. No,
leave it.
there's no pee. They have that stuff that'll turn pee purple.
Right.
Yeah.
What's a children's activity that you still love? That's the question we're asking you. Let's talk to Farmer Ted in Seattle.
Hey, Farmer Ted.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great. Thank you for asking.
Hey, there's nothing like getting pelted in the face by a red rubber ball when you're playing dodgeball.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you completely. Do you know, and are you tragically sad about this, that they outlawed dodgeball in like 50 or 38 states
I
or something
can't
crazy?
believe it took them this long. It was a terrible, terrible sport for kids who were at school with mean kids.
Well, can I just say right off the bat, you don't get a vote.
You didn't even go to middle school.
You didn't have a childhood with any toys. You
No,
don't
but I
know
did
what's
play
fun.
dodgeball.
And you take one to the face. That's the
All
problem.
of us took a ball to the face or to the stomach or to the who's its area.
We all heard it.
Yeah, we all heard it.
I mean, she's right that it does lead to bullying,
right,
but it's fine for the bullies.
She's right that we all took a ball to the face. Some of us would rather not discuss it. It was college.
Punch all of you. Tracy in Lakewood, what's a child activity you still love?
Well, good morning, guys.
Morning, Tracy.
Danny, I got to tell you something before I say, when you sobered up, I sobered up, and I want to thank you.
For real?
You're a big influence on my life.
Well,
For
that's
real, buddy.
super nice of you to say, man.
I used to follow you when I was a kid, man, when we were all kids.
Well, I'm super glad I could be any part of that at all, although I'm assuming you give me way too much credit. But that is very cool. All right, now, what do you got?
The yo-yo, man.
Yep. Yo-yo's awesome.
It is really cool.
You know, and I didn't even know they still made them until the guy that answered the phone, I asked him, and he said, yeah.
You know, it's weird because I haven't touched one in the longest time.
Apparently Derek has.
But Derek does?
That's what he said. He asked the guy answering the phones. That would be Derek.
Oh.
And Derek's like, oh, they still make them.
Yeah, they still make them. I don't want to say really good with them, but I can do almost, I can do not just the walk of the dog. I can do the cat's cradle, which is a complicated trick. I can do a lot of tricks.
They still have the World Championship every year where they show it on ESPN like 5 or whatever.
Want to hear something that just is sad and gross?
No.
Then I'll tell Paul. Paul, you want to hear something sad and
I'd
gross?
love to, man.
I thought you might.
I'd like to watch the video, too.
Well, if there's video, I'm going to be worse mad. My wife in college used to date a professional yo-yo user.
Really?
He'd go to your party or
and that's
kids'
why you
parties.
married her? You heard that?
Yes,
and you were like, oh, I am in.
Gotta lock that one down.
Ralph in Marysville, what's a children's activity that you still love?
I love to ride them go-karts, man.
Yeah.
Go-karts.
You know,
So fun.
when you think about the do you mean the go-karts on tracks?
Yeah, the one. Well, I used to ride them. They used to have this Rigger Stratton motors on them, but now they got faster ones now.
See, for those things that they'll go 80 miles an hour and stuff like that. My favorite go-karts are the ones the dad next door built for his kids.
Sure. Yeah.
And they were just none of them were legal, and the cops would chase you and you try and get away, and then instead you're running from the cops in a motorized vehicle, and they give you a warning. Those are the days.
Bill in Seattle, a kid's activity you still love?
I still love the activity of show and tell, and I think every couple should still like that. It's a lot more fun when you get older.
Yeah, I like a game. It's very similar. I like a game. It's called Show and Don't Tell People.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Along those same lines, somebody texted in, I still like to play doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we have a couple of guests in the studio that like to play doctor. They came out to our birthday broadcast. They were very kind to be here. Both registered nurses, big fans of the show. Blair and Jess. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hey.
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 Karen in Redmond, what's a kid's activity you still love?
Hi there. When I was little, this wasn't a thing. I used to draw on some of my dolls' faces, but now I paint faces as a profession, and I have as much fun painting the adults as I do the kids.
Oh, that's cute. Danny wants to go ahead and say it.
She's a psychopath.
What?
Because Grateful Dead stopped touring. She has nothing to do. She's going to paint some poor kid that doesn't know what's
How
up.
are you supposed to go to the Seahawks game without Karen?
Well, you got to have a point there. All right. You want to go to the Seahawks game, Karen? Because now I feel bad. Thank you very much for calling.
Good morning, yo, in Olympia.
What up?
What up, yo?
How's it going, everybody?
How are you, honey?
Very well. Thank you for asking.
Well, I have two things to say. Number one, I still make blanket forts for my kitty cat.
Aw.
She gets cuter every
Yep.
time. Every time.
And number two, I still like coloring. It's very relaxing.
You know, the whole world seems to be on board with that. There's adult coloring books, posters. I think there's even classes in it. So, yeah.
I don't have any coloring books, but every time we go to a restaurant, I make sure to get 2 kids menus so Jelly Bean and I can both color on the
Nice,
back.
very nice.
And then we compare them, and she normally did a better job.
Registered nurse, right?
Blair.
Blair, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You guys both have names that could be interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right. So, what do you still enjoy that most people think that's a kid's activity?
I have 2. One of them I got from my son because he looked like he was having so much fun. And it's hanging from, I don't know if you know, it's the trapeze thing from like a jungle gym.
Yeah.
And he hangs upside down and stuff. So I tried it, and I feel really good about myself because I thought it was really hard.
And you did it?
I did it.
What's the other one?
I'm better than he is.
You are better than he is. And you should keep that in mind. He's a little child. What does he know?
Yeah. And the other one, I'm a little bit smart, so I don't do this to my wife, but I like hiding behind things and scaring some people.
Oh, you're evil.
Yeah, I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate that whole thing. I got in big trouble one time. We were doing a haunted house in Pennsylvania, and they're all jumping out in their black hoods and everything, scaring me. And somebody actually touched me and scared me so bad, my reaction was to punch him in the face. And when they turned out to be a 13-year-old girl, that became a big thing. So let's not scare me anymore. I didn't know. She's wearing a ninja suit. I'll punch a ninja right now.
Jess, do you have a children's activity that you like to do?
I like to handstand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Tori does that too. Tori, you do headstands and
Headstand.
Cartwheels. And...
Headstand's a different thing. Can you walk on your hands, or do you just go up in the air?
I can, but only a couple.
You know we're going to make you show us now
Yeah.
before we let you leave today.
And the cool part of that is asking a girl, can you stand on your hands? She does, and she forgets what she's wearing.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, going, oh, I see him.
Been there, done that.
Blair says, yeah, we've done that at home, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Paul, you've got a kid. You probably use her as an excuse to do a lot of these activities,
Absolutely, all the time. But the cool one over the summer, Jelly Bean got some super soakers. As a gift, she got 2 of them. And so we had water gun fights like all summer long. And I forgot how much fun that is to just get out there and have a good old-fashioned water gun fight.
Nice. Joe in Lake Stevens says skipping rocks. I love doing that. Tim in Port Orchard still plays with Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Kenneth in Seattle, skateboarding.
Okay.
Ryan in Woodinville likes to play with Legos. Why not? Tori, what is something that's a kid's activity you still love?
I can't leave the mall without stopping by the candy store. And when I was younger, it was the Sweet Factory. And now there's a place called Lolly and Pop, and it's amazing.
Nice.
Wow, that sounded amazing.
You got to go check it out.
You got to break it up into syllables. It's that good.
It's yummylicious, as Danny would say.
Sweetheart.
And Derek, what is a children's activity you still love?
I love a good game of Duck, Duck, Goose.
You are so weird.
You are.
Does this with you?
Because it was stupid when I was 4.
I
and it's
hated it when I was a
stupid now.
kid.
It's fun.
He has like a group of friends and they go out in the
No.
backyard and play Duck, Duck, Goose.
And
There's no chance you can get more than 2 people to hang out in the same room with Derek.
Have you met his friends? They all play Duck, Duck, Goose.
By the way, ever since Goose actually died, it's less fun.
Spoiler alert.
Thanks for the calls and texts, everybody. The news is next. News is brought to you by Les Schwab. Power outages from Hurricane Florence, which made landfall early this morning in North Carolina alone, has topped 500,000 customers. They've been tracking the outages in North and South Carolina, and they expect this number to grow to 3 million people without power.
Wow. Would you be prepared?
They've had enough notice.
No, I mean, you went home today and all your lights went out. Would you be prepared?
Yeah.
Paul?
Not for multiple days. I mean, we have a
Just
generator,
the day.
but we're going to run out of...
Do you have battery?
we're
not
fine
me.
for a day.
I saw it on the news and I said, I have none of that stuff. I should go get that stuff.
You don't have a flashlight?
If I do, I don't know where it is. It'd be tough to find in the dark.
Candles?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe on top of the fireplace, on the mantle. They'll smell nice and save us.
Well, there you go. You're prepared, Danny.
I'm ready to go, man.
Some 15 months ago, the richest person on planet Earth was asked via Twitter, for suggestions on how to share the wealth. Yesterday, we found out the answer. Jeff Bezos from Amazon tweeted his plan to commit $2 billion to what he is calling the Bezos Day One Fund. The money will be divided between the Day One Family Fund, which is geared towards helping homeless families, and the Day One Academies Fund, which will help to have Montessori-inspired preschools in underserved communities.
You know, the part of me, not even part, a lot of me, just wants to mock Bezos, waiting too long to get on board. But the fact of the matter is, this is $2 billion on little kids, well spent. And I don't know that he reports every dollar he gives away to charity. So maybe he's getting a bad rap. And finally, no matter when you started to give, you gave billions. So good on you, Bezos.
Yeah, we've given him a lot of grief for not, giving more publicly, but maybe that was a good thing. Maybe he just didn't want the credit for it.
Yeah, the reason I give him mostly the problem is because I think he thinks, maybe I should be Danny's friend and he'd stop being mean to me. And then I'd hang out with Bezos.
But he does give a lot to the community. It just pales in comparison to Bill Gates.
Yeah.
So he did Fair Start, started here in Seattle, which helps people.
Bezos started that?
He is the
Oh, that's
man
cool.
behind Fair Start. Yeah.
I had no idea.
And then there's that Molly's Fund, or what's the one that is all in the basement of buildings in South Lake Union to help with the homeless?
I'm not sure, but he should take more credit for the stuff that he does.
Mary's Place. That's what it's called.
Mary's Place.
Yeah, so he has done stuff. Like I said, I'm willing to bet it just really pales in comparison to Bill Gates, who is giving
is
everybody
super unfair. If
free
I
water.
give $10,000 to charity, because I figure that's got to hurt as much as $2 billion. So if I give $10,000 and it turns out Paul gave 20, I still gave 10. I don't want to hear every 5 minutes. Yeah,
right.
Paul gave 20. What?
Yeah.
No, I gave 10. Nah, your friend gave 20.
All right, so
he
how's
gave
your math?
$2 billion.
How's your math skills? He is worth $150 billion, and he is committing $2. So what percentage of
175th.
1/75th of
I believe
his
so.
net worth? It's not a lot.
Yeah, it's probably not right either, but what the hell? 182nd. Oh.
The United States is producing 11 million barrels of crude oil per month, and that is making it the world's top crude producer for the first time in more than 40 years.
That's us? Did you say?
America.
And we're number one at that?
We're
Number one.
number one.
Because I knew with
We're number
fracking
one.
and all the stuff we did, we were number one in natural gas and
Yeah,
stuff,
right.
like stuff that'll blow your house up. But yeah, I didn't know this. That's kind of great, except for it's dirty fuel. But It's kind of great.
The production in the United States of crude oil surpassed Saudi Arabia in February.
And is this because we're opening up like nature preserves and wildlife preserves and stuff like that?
I'm totally for. Displace a polar bear, I don't care.
It is.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know
do
what you
as
do
I say.
when it's cold and you're in wherever they have Eskimos and polar bears?
Yeah, what do you do?
You open up a polar bear and you live inside it till the weather passes. How important can they be to life?
I don't think that's what the Inuit do, but
They don't
usually
live inside
build-
polar bears?
No, everybody would do it. It's a survival skill.
Did you know?
Mostly went into Africa, to be honest with you, to avoid the sun.
Did you know that you can't eat polar bears? It'll kill you.
Are they poisonous
Mhm.
or venomous? Which one?
Poisonous. They're full of parasites that humans cannot eat polar bears.
I mean, I'm not going to do
I'm
it
gonna-
just to test her.
I'm
her
gonna
knowledge.
bet. I'm gonna ride my ATV to wherever they go. Oh, just the zoo. I'll club a polar bear, find out how many of this is true.
You're going to sit down with a knife and fork and
Whatever.
just eat you a polar bear just to find out if Sarah's wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
We laugh, but that's
Yeah,
so accurate.
That is mild compared to where I've gone to make sure she's wrong.
Sad story making news.
Oh, sorry. This just in on the text line. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 texters saying #dumb Sarah. I eat polar bears all the time.
Wow, Danny, you are so fast.
I knew that was gonna happen.
According to a new study from the Census Bureau, last year, 13.4% of all Americans lived below the poverty line.
13%, you say?
13%.
All right.
And sadly, I don't know why it's sadly, I guess the whole thing is sad, but a lot of them are in Texas. The percentage of people who live in McAllen, Edinburgh, Mission, Texas, 30% of people live below the poverty line, followed by Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Are they super lazy? What's the reason for one area being different from the rest of the United States?
Well, there's probably no work and there is no money to move elsewhere.
Well, that's a terrible situation. That's a conundrum right there, if I ever heard one.
So we've got a whole slew of the top 10 living below the poverty line from Texas. As I said, this McAllen area, followed by Las Cruces, New Mexico, Laredo, Texas, Brownsville, Texas, Valdosta, Georgia, Farmington, New Mexico, Albany, Georgia, Visalia, California, College Station, Texas, and Monroe, Louisiana.
Are all poor.
The percentages
Right.
of people living below the poverty line. So
Okay.
Las Cruces, it's 28. In
Jeez.
Visalia, California, 25% of people are living below the poverty
That's
line.
one out of every 3.5 people.
Shocking.
That is shocking. On the other hand, isn't there good news? Aren't the middle class now making more than ever at $61,000 a year?
That's the median.
Yeah, and it's up though. That's the good news. The
And
people
they
are
say
making
to
more.
live
than
in Seattle, you need a median combined income of $161,000.
So only $100,000 more than the
Yeah.
national average.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
You may hear a bit of noise next Thursday afternoon after lunch. You can thank FEMA and the FCC for that. According to the Topeka Capital Journal, these two agencies are pushing out a presidential alert test to every cell phone in the nation to assess the operational readiness of the infrastructure for distribution and national messaging.
Oh, so that's what FEMA does.
Well, we all get Amber Alerts on our phones now. If we had a disaster, we would get an alert on our phone. And now FEMA wants to test quite how accurate it's going to be. So everybody's phone's going to go off.
I'll tell you this, the Amber Alert thing works really well. It's on, I start hearing weird noises around my house, and I realize it's our radios, our TVs, and our cell phones. So that thing is working.
Yeah. Well, this will be a presidential alert, and it'll say this is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed. So if your phone freaks out next Thursday...
It's North Korea.
It's not North Korea.
North Korea is bombing Hawaii. That is what's happening, allegedly.
Yeah, let's establish that just right now. It is North Korea.
Yeah.
If your phone goes off for any reason, it's North Korea.
It's North Korea possibly bombing somewhere.
An Alberta couple were forced to sell their late son's classic car to raise money for their orphaned grandchildren's medical expenses.
I'm trying to look for the funny part of this.
I haven't found it yet.
I have not found it.
Well, the community decided to step up and do something for them. So this couple, their son and wife, were killed in a crash. They have 2 young children who have some health care issues. One needed speech therapy. The other one needs hearing aids. Both of them have medical issues. Not only did they then have to take custody of these 2 poor children with no parents, they have medical bills.
Yeah.
So they said they're going to have to sell his beloved 1973 Pontiac Parisienne that he worked on and brought back to its glory.
What the hell is it?
It's the 1973 Pontiac Parisienne.
I know my Pontiacs. Is it something maybe the Canadian thing?
Oh, maybe.
Most likely, yes, because in every other...
Or French. It's a Parisian.
Right.
Maybe it's the French.
Maybe French-Canadian.
Yeah. Maybe French-Canadian Parisian. Yeah.
The car was sold at auction for $30,000. And the
Canadian?
Oh, so $12. Found it.
There it is.
Turns out,
I forgot all about the dead guy.
You guys are killing me here. It's a nice story.
If you're going to go after one of them, one kid can't hear. That would be the one.
So the second somebody buys this, it was donated, sold again, and given back to them. The community decided to keep auctioning it off to raise more money, giving it all to the family and giving them the car back.
Okay, when I say, let me be clear. I'm very pleased for that family.
Yeah.
Not that pleased whoever bought a car that they probably wanted, and everybody said, you should give that back. I won $500,000 on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Did I see one penny? Regis Philbin spent that money, as far as I know.
Didn't you pick the charity that you were giving it to?
Oh, I think I made one up. Because what I want to do is like Danny Saves the Waves or some such thing. And I thought, don't worry, give me the money. I'll write them a check. It didn't work out.
Yeah, Danny's wallet didn't exactly get past producers. Police tweeted what happened when they tried to pull someone over for erratic driving. They'd gotten some calls. Said this car is swerving. They're slowing down, then they're speeding up. And police arrived at the scene, and according to the cops, they said there was a unique reason for this erratic driving. The vehicle's operator was eating a Friendly's ice cream cone while driving to Burger King.
And couldn't make a decision? Why was speeding up and slowing down?
Distracted driving, eating an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Not supposed to do that while you drive.
I'm not crazy about like normal cars, like my car or your car. Just drive them, do what you want, to have a hamburger in it. I don't know about eating ice cream in a car I like.
Seems difficult, yeah.
But also, I've got some upholstery issues.
Yeah, I definitely have to stop texting to eat an ice cream cone.
Totally.
Snakes on a plane just got literal. A passenger from Germany to Russia caused a stir when it was discovered he was carrying 20 snakes in his bag.
I have had it with these monkey-fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
I thought I did. I misunderstood your setup for the story. I thought someone had taught snakes to read. And there's a problem with literate snakes. That's what she said, I thought, and it's not. She's a literal. Sounded like somebody taught snakes to read.
Yes, literary snakes.
See?
So what happened was everybody got into their seats. And then the snakes got up into the front of the plane, and they said, "This is a good story."
You know what I like about you? Which is hundreds of things. But whenever I'm really stupid, you help me.
You can't take snakes on a plane. He was in trouble and
that
arrested.
Seems unfair. Everybody else got peacocks and kayak.
Yeah, it's just therapy snakes.
Yeah, it's a therapy. You put it in a little vest, keeps falling off, no shoulders.
When I flew, where did I go? Oh, we were in Scotland last week, and Matt and I flew separate seats, and we flew to JFK.
You do that a lot. Separate seats, meaning you're in JB and or here in 16J.
You go aisle.
We like to go aisle. In this case, we had to make a change to our flight last minute. We both were stuck in middle seats. No big deal. It was just here to JFK.
Oh, big deal. Huge deal.
Yeah.
I'd do something so horrible to the guy sitting next to me to get him to switch seats. Go, I'm sorry I vomited right in your lap, man. What can you do?
So I'm in a middle seat, which is bad enough.
Yeah.
But the lady sitting next to me in the aisle seat had a little dog that she put on the seat, and I had to share the seat with a dog. So it was in between the two of us the entire time. This little dog just looking at me, trying to eat all my people food.
Did you know in 44 states you could have just killed it?
And ate it, too. Right there on the plane.
Yeah. How the hell, what state you know you're flying over? You don't want to kill the dog in the wrong state.
Aren't you supposed to keep it in its little carrier?
No.
It just sat there.
I mean, maybe you're supposed to, but people do not.
No. It was kind of cute dog. Lady wasn't. Police in Boston said police responded to a radio station. Employees had received a suspicious package. Well, they opened up the package to see what was inside because it smelled kind of funky.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's mine.
20 bags of weed.
Oh.
At a radio station?
It's delivered to a radio station.
So that's enough for the afternoon guy. What are the rest? What's everybody else
I
going to
thought
do?
we had good fans.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a package, Danny.
Yeah.
Here at KZOK.
Yeah.
And it had 20 bags of weed inside. Would you give it to the cops or would you take it home and smoke it all up?
Neither. I would break it down, then I'd sell it.
And you wouldn't even have to leave the radio station either.
Exactly.
That's
Just
the
sell
beauty
it to
of it.
Nate.
And in Florida, it's not a radio station, it's the beach. Beach visitors were surprised when they arrived in the morning to spend the day at the shore to find a huge package of marijuana had washed up in the sand.
Wow.
Now, we know that there's a big storm happening up and down the East Coast. They said this happens periodically, but right now, Hurricane Florence is creating larger than usual surf, and bam, huge bag full of weed.
Do you know what state?
What state?
Yeah.
Florida.
Okay, so here's the thing with that, and all along that area, there's a thing they call, and we've talked about it before, and other countries as well, depending on the jet stream, the White Lobster. And that's when because the cops are on them, and then they float up on the shore, and some kid finds it and retires. That's how that story goes.
Now, they're obviously not going to be able to figure out who this belongs to, but somebody's missing a whole lot of weed.
I can't believe people are still smuggling pot. Give it a minute. It'll be legal in your state.
There is a video circulating. Pretty amazing animal. Video has been captured. This is out of Brazil. This is a bull. It's a cow, a big old bull cow. Well, it's cows, and then there's a big bull.
Okay.
3 horns.
In how many of the animals you just described?
So cows don't have horns. Bulls have horns.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of cows, and they're all hanging out, and then the bull's like, hey, what's up, ladies?
And do they go, oh, my God.
Look at his horn.
Yeah. Move over. I beat everybody with the stupid moo joke.
So he's got the 2 horns.
So he was horny. That's 2.
And then he's got the unicorn horn coming right out of the center.
Utterly ridiculous. That's 3 and I retire.
There's no udders on a bull.
There's a bunch of cows around. Don't get technical on my stupid jokes.
I mean,
I want to chop off 2 of those horns and just make him a unicorn.
Oh, no, I like it, really.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sideshow business. But this...
Only because there's no room for him in your freezer.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But this video I put up at KZOK.com, it's pretty crazy looking.
Cool.
Thank you. There is a town in Scotland that is quiet and beautiful. It's an island off of the coast of Scotland, and they have just reported their first crime in 20 years.
Wow, what was it? Haggis theft?
Cash theft.
Wow.
$2,600 stolen from a storeroom. They said there's 160 residents. Nobody even locks their doors. It's just such a safe place. And now, after 20 years, somebody committed a crime.
How much they get?
You do not listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth.
No, I didn't.
2,600.
Oh, yeah, no, I did not get that. I thought there was 26 people living on the island. Never mind, I missed it.
And a Pennsylvania man has admitted to doing something in his apartment, but says he had a good reason for breaking the law.
All right.
He fired a shotgun inside his apartment, and you can't do that.
No.
He says he had good reason. He had to shoot the clowns that were inside his apartment.
All right, so this guy might have been high.
Did he hit any clowns?
There were no clowns.
There are
in
no
his
clowns,
apartment.
Paul.
Well, there are clowns.
There
Clowns
were
exist.
2,600
I've seen a clown
clowns.
before.
He says there were 2 really small clowns here.
Really
I had
little
to
ones.
shoot
The little ones are the worst. You got to get the tiny
Yeah.
clowns.
Well, he's in big trouble because you can't fire a shotgun inside an apartment.
No, you have a tendency to either kill the guy upstairs, next door, either direction, or downstairs.
Yeah.
You can't be shooting guns because somebody in my family may have done this. And nothing happened except he got full on yelled at that you fire through a wall, you're going to kill somebody. So now I know better.
M&M's has come out with something.
It's your opportunity, yo. It's in a lifetime,
You
yo.
only got one shot.
Yeah.
Not M&M, M&M's,
Oh,
candy.
Totally different thing. Don't call me Candy just because I can't rap.
M&M's should partner with M&M for a new ad campaign.
Yeah, how's that not happened yet?
Because he won't do it for sure. They've offered him buttloads of money.
Yeah.
Well, they have unveiled 3 new flavors, and I am first in line. English toffee peanut,
Yeah.
Thai coconut peanut, Mexican jalapeno peanut M&Ms.
Jury's out. I'll have
Really?
to try it first. Yeah, because they fake it. They're never hot. Nothing's ever as hot as it says. Ooh,
Yeah.
hot, and then it's not.
I'd still like to try it and
Yeah.
find out. They are going to be making their debut next year. So, Paul, go get us some of those.
I will. I'll go grab some right
All
now.
right, thank you. Next year.
Bye. Oh, next year. Well, I'll take the long route, the scenic route.
It's Friday.
I know what that means.
It's time for the Friday Fun Fact. Well, our Friday Fun Fact today is about peanuts.
Yeah, all right.
Why? Why not? Everybody loves nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
The peanut, also known as the ground nut or the goober.
That's what
is-
I call it, the goober. You
The
call
goober?
it the goober?
It's not a nut, it's a legume.
It's a legume.
It's a legume, not a nut. They grow underground, not
Jess,
on trees.
We have guests this here, and Jess, a friend of ours, is nodding like crazy. You knew all this?
I did.
You did? Huh. I didn't know any of that stuff, but okay. Show off.
So,
Vegan.
you're a vegan? Is that what you just said?
Oh, and I thought we were going to be friends.
So, yeah, it is not a nut. Peanuts grow underground, not on trees
Yeah.
like real nuts.
But listen to this sentence and tell me if it's fine. Sometimes you feel like a legume. No.
No.
Useless,
That's just
useless
wrong.
saying.
It takes about 540 peanuts to make one 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. And arachibutyrophobia
Yeah.
is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth.
Okay. Fair enough.
Can you repeat that one back to me?
No, but I believe that George Washington Carver found a cure for that.
Arachibutyrophobia.
I just like saying that guy's name.
And news this morning is brought to you by...
Les Schwab.
Oh, I love West Schwab.
Don't we all?
You could want more Schwab.
You know,
But you take and love Les
I
Schwab.
have no idea what's happening.
it's also Free Concert Friday.
It's Free Concert Friday.
Oh, we got a good prize for Free Concert Friday, right?
We do. Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets. They're on sale today at Ticketmaster, 10 o'clock. But we have some before that, maybe like really, really, really soon before that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really
They do
soon?
this.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Kevin Hart has a new movie coming out called Night School. In promoting this, he went to Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts, and he was named principal for the day.
Really?
Yeah.
It's nice to have a principal you can beat up. Kevin Hart.
It looks like it's going to be a kind of a cute movie.
Yeah.
But he talked to the school, talked to the kids, and was kind of giving them a very encouraging speech. You know, said that nobody knows what you're capable of except for you. Nobody knows your talent. You know, so always keep fighting and don't sell yourself short and don't let anyone bring you down.
Wonder if he got laughs. I mean, I'm laughing right now. Kevin Hart telling me don't sell yourself short. I'm howling at that.
A lot of people are super freaked out by an announcement about the show Modern Family.
Yeah.
It's a hugely popular show. It's returning for its 10th season.
It contains your highest paid female actress on television. She's at $1 million a week now or something crazy.
Something like that. Sophia
She doesn't even
Vergara.
speak the language. She probably has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, too.
She speaks the language. She just has an accent.
So, it looks like the creator of Modern Family is confirming the rumors. A significant character is getting killed off.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that I believe.
They said it's going to have repercussions across several episodes.
Because remember that guy that was just discovered working at Trader Joe's and
The
they're
Cosby
gonna
Show, yeah.
Alvin from the Cosby Show.
Right. He had a significant part. Yet, if they killed him, I'd have been fine.
Yeah.
I don't think they're killing off any of the Modern Family. I think they're killing off Kevin Hart. I don't know why I think that.
Kevin Hart?
Yeah. There's something to do.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was on Modern Family. That guy's getting work.
God, I really like that guy, too.
Yeah.
I must admit, I'm a full-blown fan.
And he's very short.
Yeah, no. He says that he's 5'4". There's not a chance in the world he's 5'4".
Him and Danny DeVito are the same size.
Is that true?
No. Danny DeVito's like 4'11".
I thought his wife was 4. I thought somebody was tipping 5 feet. But anyway, everybody in the whole my world is short, and I dig that.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports
Brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Nelson Cruz hit a 3-run home run. Mike Leake pitched 7 strong innings, and the Mariners started their 10-game road trip with a big W.
Nice.
8-2 victory over the Angels. Now, today, they are once again playing the Angels. 7:07 start time on Root Sports. James Paxton was supposed to be the starting pitcher, but he has pneumonia.
No.
Pneumonia.
How much money would you give me if I could spell pneumonia?
I'll give you $5 right here and now.
Not a chance in the world. Here's your money. But it does start with a P, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Pneumonia.
P-N-M-E. Nope, I'm lost. I'm out.
Wait, how did you start?
P-N-M.
No.
No?
No.
Jess, Blair. Either you
they've got this for sure.
That's
Yeah.
like listen to me. Listen to this. We have guests in the studio. Anybody remember earlier? Well, I'm super smart, so. And then Blair told some story. Spell pneumonia, tough guy.
Well, I'll give you the way to abbreviate it so you won't have to have this issue. When we document, it's P-N-E. That's it, but it's P-N-E-U-M-O-N-I-A.
Don't look at your wife.
That is
Don't look at your
correct.
wife. He got it
on the spot.
Can you use it in a sentence? Can I get the country of origin, please?
Pneumonia's never been so funny. James Paxton has it. He will not be starting.
Oh, that's right. We're supposed to be sad about this. We like that
We
guy.
have yet to be sad about any of that. Remember the deaf kid we were talking about? Still not sad.
There was a dead guy earlier. I
Yeah,
think we got a chuckle out of that.
Well wishes to Big Maple. We don't know who's going to start, but Matt Shoemaker, guess what he does for a side gig? He'll be pitching for the
Pitch.
Angels.
Yeah.
He pitches for a side gig.
His
He
name
makes
is
shoes for a
Oh,
living.
Shoemaker. Is there a guy named Baker on that team, too? They can't stop these guys.
We've got football action that started last night. Thursday Night Football, the Bengals defeated the Ravens 34-23. Up next for the Seahawks, Monday Night Football, 5:15 start time against the Bears in Chicago. We found out this morning that the Seahawks have signed Michael Kendricks, who had been released by the Cleveland Browns following charges of insider trading.
No, Cleveland Browns found out he actually had talent, so they had to let him go. He won't fit in around here.
They want to keep my bet alive. They can't win a game, otherwise I lose 50 trillion Zimbabwean dollars.
So Kendricks played weak side linebacker for the Eagles. He won the Super Bowl. Now, Seattle starting weak side linebacker is recovering from arthroscopic surgery, not expected to play Monday night. So he is allowed to play despite being under investigation, or pleading guilty, rather, to insider trading. His sentencing is January 24th. He is allowed to play football until sentencing.
Right. I don't think, although they gave, what's her face?
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart actually went to jail over a minor, $57,000, I believe, of insider trading. This guy really could go to jail.
Yeah. We'll find out in
But
January.
we'll take him between now and January.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? We need him. We've got too many injuries right now.
I just think it's always a mistake to hire a convicted felon.
Do you? Don't let your bosses know that.
Tomorrow, UW is playing Utah, 7 o'clock start time, and WSU plays USC for college football with their start time being 7:30. So much excitement this week with the Seattle Storm, the WNBA, and now LeBron James is getting into the action. He is doing...
He's going to join the WNBA? No.
He is doing a show about the WNBA.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's actually, technically, I think, a very intuitive producer.
Well, this is being written by somebody who has experience writing sports-related shows. It's called Hoops, an hour-long drama. It will revolve around Stevie Decker, who, after years on the road as a star player and coach in the WNBA, jumps at the chance to return to her alma mater to become the first female head coach of a men's college basketball team. As you can imagine, things don't go all that smoothly.
Yeah, but didn't they do this show already?
And it was called what?
The White Shadow. So that's this was a fish out of water basketball coach.
No.
He was the only white dude in an all-black school coaching a black basketball team.
Yeah.
So I think this drama has already existed. But you know what? I'll give the chance because I'm a fan of, what's his face?
LeBron.
That guy.
Yeah. Plus, it's a different gender, and, you know, the difficulties will be different than White Shadow. White Shadow was a great show.
I loved that show.
That airs on ESPN Classic.
It does?
It
White
does,
Shadow?
yeah.
I'm shocked.
And I mean, it holds up, except those shorts are really short.
I think that guy did he just die? Ken
Howard?
Ken Howard. Did he
Might
just
have.
die?
I don't know.
He was the president of the Screen Actors Guild, so I got to meet him. It was very
really?
exciting for me.
Sports this morning, brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY. It's Friday!
I know what that
We
means.
got a whole slew of new movies in theaters. To tell us what to see, what not to see, Derek is the man. Now, we've got Predator opening up.
Yeah.
That is, I guess it's being called more of a reboot. And
I think it's called more of a stupid because it looks really dumb.
See, I've not seen enough of it, but I thought the Predator movies, because I was going to say this is a franchise based on a monster that isn't real. It's great makeup and stuff like that. It's a great monster, but you're not there to see any movie stars. You're there to see that monster shooting lasers out its butt or whatever it does.
Well, there are a whole lot of stars in this movie, and I think it looks super funny. And
but it's not
sure
supposed to be. Yeah, it's not supposed to look funny, I don't think.
We've got Sterling K. Brown, Thomas Jane, Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Jacob Tremblay, and Boyd Holbrook.
I heard of one of those guys.
Keegan-Michael Key?
Yeah.
Sterling K. Brown was just won an Academy Award, I think. Jake Busey is...
Gary Busey's kid?
Busey's
Yeah,
kid.
poor bastard.
He looks a lot like him, too.
All
Looks
them
a lot
charm.
like his
He's
dad.
made of teeth.
Yeah.
Thomas Brown is a super handsome bald dude. Jacob Tremblay
snorted, I'm
won an
sorry.
Oscar. Anywho,
Yeah.
Predator. Do I even need to say what it's about? It's not about anything. It's
Yeah,
about
we
an
get it,
alien.
and I'm going to go with 62% fresh.
Oh, really? I'm going to go 37% rotten.
I'm going 12% rotten.
Derek.
Get to the chopper and then crash it into the side of
Yes.
a mountain.
Thank you.
34%
Almost,
rotten.
almost
wow,
on
look
the
at me
money.
It's still going to do gangbusters
Yeah.
at the box office.
Oh, yeah, it'll be fine. And we might even go see it.
Yeah, together, because we do that. Isn't the last movie we saw together a monster movie?
No, it's like a thriller, though.
Same thing.
Yeah.
What'd you guys see? Sicario?
Yeah.
Right on. Why do I know that?
I don't
also-
know. We talked about
I
it.
wasn't even there.
We lost Danny's car. That was
Yeah,
fun.
that was a
Went to the
drag.
strip club?
I hate that joke.
White Boy Rick also opening up. It stars Matthew McConaughey, Bruce Dern, Jennifer Jason Leigh. Rated R.
Okay, heard of every one of them. That's what a movie star movie
Yeah.
is.
This is set in the 1980s, Detroit, at the height of the crack epidemic and the war on drugs. White Boy Rick is based on the moving, true story of a blue-collar father and his teenage son who became an undercover police informant and drug dealer, then abandoned by his handlers and sentenced to life in prison. Spoiler alert.
This is bad, yeah.
It sounds pretty heavy.
It looks cool, though.
I happen to have been in Detroit during the crack epidemic, and it was awful. That place was, because I'd been in other places. I participated in the crack epidemic, but city still functioned and things. Detroit shut down because of that whole thing.
Well, this should be a good movie then. White Boy Rick, Derek, what do the reviewers have to say?
All right. 62% fresh.
Wow, that's exactly what I guessed for the last movie. I should have just held on.
Also opening up, Anna Kendrick, Blake Lively, Gene Smart, and Rupert Friend all star in the Paul Feig rated R thriller, A Simple Favor. Stephanie, played by Anna Kendrick, is a mommy vlogger who seeks to uncover the truth about her best friend's sudden disappearance from a small town.
Yeah, I loved it when they called it Gone Girl.
This is a stylish thriller filled with twists, betrayals, secrets, revelations, love, and murder and revenge. A simple favor, Derek, what do the reviewers have to say?
Do yourself a favor and go see it. 84%.
Wow. Did not see that coming. All right.
And I thought Paul Feig normally does comedies, but this does not look funny at all.
Yeah.
And I have a super whammy crush on what's her face.
Anna Kendrick, yeah.
Well,
Blair does too, but his wife's sitting right next to him. So he gave the smallest head nod I've ever
the
seen.
coolest thing in the whole world if Jess leaned up to the mic and went, "Me too."
Yeah.
All right, Tori is in line to see this next movie that's opening up. It is Lizzie, starring Chloe Sevigny, Kristen Stewart, Kim Dickens, and Dennis O'Hare. Any guesses as to what this is about?
Lizzie Borden.
That's right.
Taking an axe.
That's right.
And giving her mother 40 whacks.
That's right.
Then when she thought she had done, she gave her daddy 41. So I think, I mean, I'm just guessing. I've never
That
even
should
heard
be
of
a big movie. How come I haven't heard of it? Have you heard of this movie?
But I only heard of it like yesterday on TV.
Now, Tori, you are, I don't want to say a fan, but you are into the story of Lizzie Borden, correct?
Yeah, it's interesting. I want to stay in the house that she died. Or not, she didn't die.
It's a bed and breakfast. No, she didn't even get convicted of a crime.
No.
Well, this is a movie that is opening up, rated R thriller. Derek, what are the reviewers saying about Lizzie?
It's got me in a tizzy, 72% fresh.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It had you in a tizzy, did it?
I don't know what that word means.
It's a thing. You're good. No, you're right.
We've also got a movie that stars Nicolas Cage. It's a thriller action movie called Mandy. In the Pacific Northwest, 1983, two outsiders lead a loving and peaceful existence. Their pine-scented haven is savagely destroyed by a cult led by a statistic man named Jeremiah. Things do not end well in this story. Mandy, what are the reviewers saying?
Nick has broken out of his bad movie Cage, 95% fresh. No, seriously, I want to see this. It looks awesome. If you
Really?
like
Yeah,
Flying
but on a
Ducks,
side note, they don't pay you enough.
this is the movie for you. They don't pay me at all.
See?
He does this out of pure love. If you want to see any of the trailers for these movies, they are up right now at KZOK.com. And Derek, people want to go see Nick.
Want a chance to see one of these movies for free? You're in luck because today is Free Movie Friday.
Free Movie Friday.
The Atom Tickets app lets you browse movie titles, buy tickets, invite friends, pre-order concessions, all from your phone, and skip the lines. Today, Atom Tickets wants to give you a chance at free movie tickets. Text them now. Text WIND, that's WIND, to Atom1, that's 28661 for your chance to win. Standard data and text message rates may apply.
Fantastic. Thank you. Want to say thank you very much to our guests, Blair and Jess, for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Although, can I just tell you something, Blair? You know what I noticed? You checked your watch within 5 minutes of being in this room. Where the hell do you have to be, mister, that's even closely as fascinating as this?
Well, no, it's like I said, when I'm listening to the show, I hate commercials, but when I'm here, I like commercials because I get to talk to you guys.
That makes perfect sense.
It's the show he hates.
And plus, you got a babysitter on the clock, do you not?
Yeah, 15 an hour.
15? What has happened to the world?
Is that per kid, or did you get a deal? Because sometimes they do per kid.
No, it's for both, but when they're asleep, it's 10 an hour, so that's nice.
Well, why didn't you give them some sleeping medication?
You don't know what they keep the Benadryl like every other parent does? Anyway, thank you very much for coming in. It was super fun. I hope you solved the beaver problem that you have at your house. Their house
Nice
is
to
being
meet you
eaten by
guys.
beavers.
Yeah.
So very nice, and thanks for coming in, and it was nice seeing you again.
Yeah.
We have more chances at TSO tickets.
Yeah, all day long. Free Concert Friday. Just listen to the station for the guy from Woodstock to
Oh.
say it's a free concert. Be caller 10.
And Monday, something huge?
Vets Aid at the Tacoma Dome. That's Joe Walsh,
They can't
Don
cure that.
Henley, James Taylor, and more. That's a great show. It's
totally different.
Monday
Vets,
morning, 7:20. Vets
Vets
Aid.
Aid. Oh,
Vets
God
Aid.
bless. Yeah, Vets Aid. God bless. With James Taylor. I'm so excited. I love James Taylor.
Very cool.
Very cool. You know who else I really like to see? And
Who's that?
I'm happy to pay my $12 every freaking morning to see this guy, Steve Slayton, who is going to walk in this room and play classic rock and roll different from anybody else playing this. You might want to pay attention for that. We will get out of his way. Have a great weekend. Bye.